What's going on, guys? Ryan here with another episode of the Dent Digest live show, episode number 49. Almost my 50th episode. So you see I got a special guest here, Mr. Manny. What's going on, bud?
Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, everyone? Hope everyone's great out there. I'm doing good, Ryan. Just living day by day,
I can't quite not say, look how perfect your shop looks back there. You couldn't ask for a better setup.
Hey, you know what? It looks even better with a job that I have there in the back. So, that completes it.
Hey, it's push through it, So we're in this show. We're doing a little bit of a check-in. I've got a bunch of guests, some video, some phone, something a little different, trying to just kind of keep everybody linked together and keep that mind state positive and really trying to keep it all moving forward. There's some bad stuff going on in the world, and we're on Facebook and we keep seeing COVID-19 and deaths and all this stuff. Just trying to keep it real and keep that brain square, How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. What's crazy just talking about that is just that, we started the year with, Kobe Bryant thing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden everything just got squashed with this COVID-19 thing, and it's just just amazing how it just kind of took over almost the whole world,
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's a scary time, and it was funny because I want to put this out here. Manny and I were talking today, and I did shut RPS down. Actually, today would be a full week, and I said it's kind of a blessing. This is a terrible thing for me to say. It's terrible for me to say that this is a blessing, but I'm extremely busy when the hustle and bustle during the average day, and I'm super blessed to have work year round. I'm super blessed to have work, and we're busy every day, just trying to grind through it, because I'm mentally, and I told my wife, I'm mentally on this 4-year plan of give me 4 years. Let me get this thing built. Let me get it running, and just, I can step away a little bit, but just not be as in depth as I have been. So, I said to Manny today, I said, man, it's kind of a blessing. And he's like, why? And I'm like, I'm really getting to spend a lot of time with my daughter, that I usually didn't get to do. Now I'm in the house for a week straight, and she's so far up my butt, I can taste what color her hair is, which is great. It's been amazing. I'm very fortunate, and it kind of may change my thought process on the daily, so that's a positive thing that I'm taking from this.
Ryan, like I was telling you earlier, it's just like, for us, this is a tough time, but for our kids, man, 5-6 years from now, they're going to look back at this times and it's just like, this were like the best days. I got to spend so much time with my dad. I got to do so much time with, do so much things with my mom and dad. And it's just like, what I mean? So it's like, and I think that's our responsibility of us as human is just, it's our faith of what we do with this situation.
We're all going to make the best out of it. And that's as easy as it is.
That's the great thing about this show, Ryan, that, it's just, we're facing this situation, but we're all connecting, and that bond, you know what I'm saying? It's just, it's awesome, man.
It's, for me, I consider it a reboot.
Yeah.
Is what I'm calling it. I was talking to another guy, and I get a lot of calls from a lot of guys, and just, hey, what do you think I should do with this? Or how are you doing that? Or I'm super lucky. And I said this to you, that a good thing that I have right now is money is not my first worry right now, because I've been through this before. I've worked through September 11th and we save money and just, I'm fortunate. My wife is working through this from home. But we prepared. We had a rainy day fund is what I call it. And that's one thing that I think a lot of these guys are going to take from this whole situation. It eliminates that level of stress. Am I stressed about losing business? 100%.
Yeah.
But I'm not stressed about the money. So it makes it a little easier.
Yeah. The way I see it is, it's one of those situations. I always say it's just like problems weren't made to be to learn something from it, and I think that the situation, it's here to teach us something, and it's here to show us that nothing lasts forever. It's like the business, the money is just like your house, everything is just like, it comes down to your family and what you're spending with your time, and like you were saying, just like sometimes we're good because, we're busy with work and we're out and about, but we forget how important that time is also for our family.
Of course it is.
And like the business, we're constantly getting work and we're like, oh, I'll be okay. We don't think about saving.
No.
We don't think about like stacking up on important things, or like the eating out. There's so many of us that like we eat out every day and we don't value the cooking at home, the cooking at home.
Oh my gosh. I can say one thing.
Days, or things like that, and I just feel that it's here to teach us something, and like you said, I just hope that us as human, we take this as a positive thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's the little things in life. And I don't know if you've ever heard, I'm an East Coast boy. I've grown up in Maryland and Baltimore. Utz potato chips. Okay. I don't know if you have them there. They're out of Pennsylvania. And I love these things. I grew up with these things, and every time I open the bag, it's like a memory, So I looked at my wife and I was like, if you go out, please get me Utz potato chips yesterday. So she ran out early in the morning to the grocery store, to Target, and opened this bag, and I was like, the little things, man. Let me tell you how happy I am about Utz potato chips. How terrible is that? You're averagely, like she said, she went out actually this morning. And at the Target, you can only get one Lysol wipe, one Lysol spray. And she's like, I remember going in the store and the whole shelf and nobody would buy that shit. Now you can only get one, so in your head, you're almost reprogramming your brain to think differently.
It's, talking about the Clorox wipes, my wife just loves those things, right? Like she'll clean every single thing with those Clorox wipes. And like 3 weeks ago when we bought a pack, I said, you're going to have to learn how to use these the right way. Just you have to, not just to wipe down everything. Well, the fact that the stores are running out, guess what? It's teaching her how to like use them.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's just, and it's that, I think it teaches a lot.
It's changing the thought process. It's not going to be the same world. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
So let's get rolling on these guests. We've got a bunch of guys that are coming on. The first guest is going to be a call-in. Let's see if we can get him on the phone here.
Thanks.
Hello.
Hey, I'm here, bud.
What's up, Mr. Matt Phones? What's up, buddy? Can you hear me?
I can't. And actually, I'm on delay from your YouTube, so let me turn that off.
Yeah, I can hear myself in the background. How about that? So how are you? So Matt's in my local market. He is a Dent Wizard guy, and we keep in contact, and we've been back and forth, and he watches the show all the time. So I wanted to get him on, kind of get his input on how he's doing and what's going on. So how are you handling things, Matt?
It's, just a worldwide pandemic, but other than that, I guess I'm okay,
So in your work decisions, I actually commented and we talked about you last week on the show. How are you handling your work situation? Because right now in Maryland, everybody's kind of uncomfortable working.
Yeah.
How are you working through that?
Well, first off, can you hear me well?
You sound amazing.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Yeah, it's funny, man, because it's just surreal how everything was okay one minute, and then all of a sudden everything is just not right anymore. It's just different. It's like a different world. It's, you know, the dealerships were rocking and rolling one day, and then the next day everybody just cut bait. They just shut down.
Yeah, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. It's crazy how it's changed.
Just having to deal with that. You know, for a while, the used car dealers were hanging out for a little bit, saying, "All right, we're going to push through this," and then, you know, all of a sudden you have the governor of our state, who I think is taking a lead throughout the country. You know, Hogan, he's just shutting things down, and then you just got to play second fiddle to politics at this point. You know?
Yeah.
When things get shut down, you have to follow that.
Of course. You know, what is your take on, are you still working? I know you put a post out and you were just you commented on Dave Johnson from Dent Wizard's post, and it was a really in-depth post, very broad. How are you? You responded, you weren't sure exactly, you know, what everyone was going to do. What is your take from that whole thing? Are you still working through every day? Are you limited? What's going on?
No, at this point, I'm an on-call PDR technician. I don't have everyday work anymore. And like you said, we're both in the Baltimore metro area. So the dealerships are pretty much shut down, and we're still classified as essential personnel. So we're able to legally drive to our spots to fix these cars that they called upon. But the only people that are open are the service department.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's it. If I have a call, today I had 2 separate calls. I had a little bit of work today, which kept me motivated. I went in there, fixed his cars, and I came home. I was shut down today at 2:00. It's uncomfortable. The surreal thing about it is I just don't know what to do with my time when I get home. You know,
You're not telling
I'm
me.
not used to being done on a Thursday at 2:00 in the afternoon. It just never happened.
It's been a week for me, so believe me, I'm making it. We're doing good.
Yeah,
we're doing good. So I appreciate. Go ahead.
Now, what I was saying is I'm trying to pull the positive out of everything. So I'm pretty much forecasting this to be a 4 to 6 week thing by how these dealerships are reacting to this. So, you know, my work is going to slow down. I got to pick something else off to be able to improve on. And I just have to, I'm kind of in the downtime right now to figure out what that is. But you know, we're really low on work, so I got to figure out how I'm going to improve on something else. I'm not too sure what that is yet, but I'll have plenty of time to figure it out.
Yeah, true.
Is Dent Wizard coming up with something to help you guys out, or is everyone kind of on their own?
I'm sorry, I can hear you, Ryan, really well. I can't hear you.
He's asking if Dent Wizard has put anything together, like a stimulus package, to kind of help you guys out.
Oh, yeah. I'm uncomfortable talking about that. There's a lot of moving parts going on with that. I'm happy with how Dent Wizard is treating me in particular, but there's a lot of Dent Wizard employees that I'm not exactly sure about, so I can't talk about that as a whole.
Yeah, there's a lot of unknown. I mean, there's still a lot of unknown about the SBA loan and all that stuff. It's very difficult to read. So, but Matt, you stay positive, bud. I'm sure, you know, I'm waiting on your phone call to have our drinking meeting in our cars out front. Drinking and driving is not good, but we are quarantined.
No, of course, man. I definitely look forward to talking to you in the future, man. Once again, man, I really appreciate you giving me a shout out for this. This is trivial times, man. It's crazy times, man.
It is.
The only way that we survive all together, and I like your analogy, is at the end of this, it's all going to be a clean slate, man. We'll work forward together, and if you're that one person alone on an island, you're going to suffer. So I think we all just need to come together during this time and figure this out as a whole, as an industry, and just move forward.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, you have a great night, Matt. I appreciate it, buddy. And I will talk with you later.
Hey, man, appreciate the call. Take care, guys.
Good old Matt Phones from Dent was. Hey, you know, I'm an old Dent Wizard guy, and we're friends. You know, Dave, I'm friends with a lot of those guys.
You know what's funny is that when this whole thing started and all of us PDR techs started slowing down at work, I heard someone say just like, I wish I was a Dent Wizard guy because, you know, then I would have to work. You know?
You're right. You're right.
You know,
actually, I had one of my estimators at one of my shops take a picture of a Dent Wizard guy in one of my accounts today. And he's like, do you know this guy? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay. And I'm like, I'm not working. Somebody's got to fix your dents. It is what it is. Yeah. I'm not worried about it. Yeah. It is what it is. So I'm going to bring another guy on. It's a tool manufacturer, Mr. Chris White.
Hey, Chris.
What's going on, guys?
How you doing, buddy?
Doing all right. Doing all right. We're all in this together, right?
Hey, you know what? Like I said, to be honest with you, it's been kind of nice because I've had more Zoom calls and Skype calls than I ever have. You know, I come out here every day and it's like a drinking happy hour every night. So it's a little different lifestyle for me.
Cheers. Yeah.
So how's things at Kiko? What's going on over there? One thing I do want to say to you is I really enjoyed Monday's live glue pulling repair.
Oh, Fridays.
Friday. Yeah. That was awesome. That was awesome. If you guys have not checked that out,
yeah,
it always gets posted. Brock's on there too, and you have to go in and go to their page, and it is, I think it's an hour, correct?
Yes. Yeah. It was last Friday was our first event, but we're gonna do them every Friday for a while. I mean, certainly, I gotta give Kenny Austin and Brock Berkey a lot of credit here because gosh, literally 2 weeks ago, we've been going as hard and fast as we go, with regard to what we're doing in body shops, man. Like sales had been more or less exploding, honestly, and then I went to Oklahoma City Thunder game on a Wednesday night that never started because Gobert had coronavirus, right? And like literally our sales just came to a halt almost on our tools. And so we were talking about, I was like, guys, we got to figure out we're selling tools. We got to figure out how to beat the index. And then Kenny came up with the idea. He's like, look, we got to do more virtual live events, right? And so that's where that came from. And, you'll see more and more of that from us over time. And hopefully we'll get a lot better at it. Certainly, that it puts guys like you really in a good spot because you started things like this when people could get together freely, right? And I don't know enough about your show to know, but I would assume that your viewership's gone up significantly in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's done pretty well.
Yeah. So
we're all bored. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, but I mean, like that's really the direction of with or without a virus. It's honestly the direction of the world. We all shop on Amazon, right? I mean, like either more and more online, more and more virtual, right?
Yeah. And that was, I watched it, I mean, for the whole hour, and we're just trying. And the good thing is in there, you can ask questions. So as Gene was doing the repair, you can ask questions and Brock is relaying them, and it worked really, really well. So it was a really good thing. I said to my wife, I said, I need an hour.
Yeah.
I need an hour. I'm taking a class.
With the van, with the rear tailgate on the van?
What was that?
Was that one video with the rear tailgate?
No, it was a blue door.
Yeah, it's just a door that Gene had to stand, basically. Tomorrow we're going to talk about lighting. In the body shop, guys don't have as much of a good idea on how to use lighting, how to read lighting, because they're really, you know, they're not doing PDR, they're roughing it out. And so like they understand that they can like see more, but they don't really know how to read the light to try to understand. So, you know, that'll be a challenging one tomorrow to go through and see, you know, number one, you know, it's a tough thing for Gene to have to try to teach virtually over the internet. And then two, you know, having guys to sit through that and listen. So I'd love to have your feedback on tomorrow's show as well.
And what time is that show, Chris?
Noon Central.
Okay. So make sure you guys tune in. I'm telling you, it was really, really good. It was really good, the explanation and the breakdown of it. So
listen, Gene's incredible. Like he does such a fantastic job of walking you through each step that he's taking as he's taking it. You know, and take nothing away from his skill set. His skill set's amazing, but a lot of you guys, you know, have amazing skill sets, right? But what Gene has that not a lot of people have is the ability to boil it down to pretty simple words in a really unassuming but very confident manner. You know, that like now I'm doing this, and step by step. And guys really they feel like they know him. They feel like, you know, they're friends, right? And, you know, so he just does a fantastic job. I couldn't be happier to have him associated with Kiko.
You know, it's good to hear that you kind of shifted and we're really trying to, since you saw your sales go down, you know, you were a perfect example. You saw the sales go down and let's try something different. Let's try something new. Have
to, right? I mean, like, you know, that's our mantra is we got to beat the index. You know, you know, right now they say the economy's sitting still. Well, guess what? We can't sit still. You got to beat the index. You got to figure out a way. You got to get better at something. You know, we realize that guys are going to have way more screen time today than they had 3 weeks ago. Way more time to invest in learning about something new. They may feel hesitant to spend their money. Yeah. But they have much more time to learn, and then when the money comes back, then, you know, we'll be right where we need to be.
You're staying in the back of their mind. You know, you're
that's right.
Relative is what I call it, being relative. You know.
Yes, right.
So, you know, it's good to see you've shifted a little bit. You know, do you have any future plans coming up? If anything, I know you have a training. Are you guys still planning on the training, or what's your?
No, you know, I know Brock sent out an email, you know, like late last week. You know, we decided to go ahead and cancel the training. It was going to be the day before the Anson open house there in April, and we felt we had to cancel it. But, you know, just as soon as we feel confident scheduling the next event, we'll do so. Those have been very well received too. You know, again, we've got Gene Fetty teaches those. David Shutt comes and helps teach those. On occasion, Jonathan will come. Jonathan Benefontaine will come help teach as well. And you know, again, like one of the great things about it, it's great curriculum. I mean, guys certainly learn a tremendous amount about glue pull repair, but I'm just so thankful that our guys are so approachable. We got some of the best guys in the industry, but they don't try to talk down in any way to our customers. You know, guys that are just starting with glue pull that know nothing about PDR, or, you know, and really just need to learn how to glue pull to rough it out. You know, the guys come and they get very comfortable very quickly. We kind of laugh about it, and we take them to dinner the night before the class starts. We take them to dinner afterwards, and you know, really try to make it a special event. And guys say, "Hey, this kind of feels like a men's retreat or something." More
the getaway,
you know. So we're pretty proud of that. It's a fun deal.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, you got any questions, Manny?
No, I was just gonna say, you know, I'm just really excited how you guys are steering, you know, to doing more videos about it, because you know, I think Kiko has, I mean, some of the best glue pulling systems and tools and everything. And just, a lot of the times we want to see the back end of that, of how it's being used, because we don't get manuals with these tools, like showing us how to use it. So to be able to see videos of how it's being used or the proper way it's being used, it's awesome. And it's great. So, I know these are like, kind of low times or bad times, but I feel that we were just talking with Ryan, that it's going to bring out the best out of all of us. And I think that this is, I'm really excited for you guys, because I feel that doing those videos is going to bring out something even better out of the company. Aside from the tools, now it's the videos, and it's like, I'm really excited for the future of the company, because with all those videos, it's going to be great. We'd like to see all that stuff. And I mean, honestly, I've learned a lot of stuff from Gene. So it's just like,
oh yeah,
to know that there's more coming out, I'm excited. And, when everything goes back into place, you bet believe that, there's going to be a lot of guys going after those tools now that they're going to have the work and the income.
Well, the other thing is they're sitting at home watching these things now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have the time. These guys, I think in our area in the next 2 weeks, I'm expecting the body shops to not have any work.
Yeah.
They're already really low. I see them posting things online on Facebook, trying to get business in, and it's getting to that point to where it's just going to go.
Yeah.
So they're going to have the time to look at that stuff,
Yeah. And, it's funny, because I talk with a lot of body techs a lot, and I always try to implement, I always try to talk to them of how they should use lighting in their work. And their number one thing is like, I don't have time.
Yeah.
I'm always working. So I'm just hoping that, during these hard times, they get the best, and they're only going to be able to bring out the best by, watching you guys' videos. So.
Yeah, one of the things that probably the first thing Gene will talk about. I don't know what he's going to talk about, but probably the first thing, and one of the most effective things that he's got this illustration that he does with our body guys when we come to a training event, and we'll have a pretty good size damage, and he'll give the guy right on a car, and he'll give the guy a dry erase marker and turn the light off and say, hey, come circle the damage. And the guy comes and circles the damage. And then he comes and turns the light on, puts it in the proper position, and then says, hey, circle the damage, right? And it's always, 25, 50% larger. And it's like, hey, guys, use this in your estimates, right?
Yeah.
You get paid for the size of the dent, right? And that really resonates. Body shop guys immediately understand that that is an opportunity where they're leaving some money on the table with the size of the dents, and I think they really struggle at times, to be able to present the dents to the adjusters. A lot of times they're doing it on pictures, and so, man, they need a light to be able to do that, right?
Yeah.
So,
well, Chris, I appreciate you coming on, bud, and I wanted to highlight that you guys. I noticed it with the show with the live glue pulling repairs, so I really wanted to reach out to you and just say, hey, I could see you guys were making that little bit of a shift, and it was nice to see a manufacturer making that change.
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I couldn't be prouder of my team. We're just doing everything we can do to, like I say, beat the index and be ready to, just continue to fly when business comes back. So,
well, keep it up. I appreciate you coming on.
Best wishes to you guys. Be safe.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
I'm sure
you guys got a great show. Thanks for the opportunity.
See you, Chris. Good old Chris White. You couldn't ask for a nicer guy.
Right. And see, this is what I'm talking about. It's just like, out of this bad situation, it's going to bring out the best out of everyone.
The shift.
Them making videos. This is actually like making me excited about what's happening.
Telling you, tomorrow you got to tune in, because it is really information. Like, I sat there and I was like, oh, I'm doing that wrong.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring another guest on. He's not in the paintless dent repair world. He's a good friend of mine. Nice. And what he is, he owns a automotive, like a repair facility.
Okay.
Euromotive over here in my area. Great friend of mine, and kind of go through his trials and tribulations, and we talk periodically. We kind of check up on each other. So I want to bring my buddy Matt on. What's up, Matt?
How you guys doing?
Hey, Matt.
How you doing?
So we've known each other for quite a while, and I do work at your shop whenever you get stuff, and this guy loves European cars, so it does kind of bug me a little bit, but he knows his stuff about European cars. So
nice.
And it was 2 weeks ago he posted something online saying, "Hey, I'm going to close the doors for this week, try to see where we are, what's going on with this." How did you handle that situation, Matt?
So we were one of the first shops, at least in the area that I know of, to actually close.
Mm-hmm.
I had a little bit of uncertainty around. I kind of felt it floating through the shop. I think that the guys were talking to their wives, and the wives were saying, "What are you guys doing? Are you staying open?" And I said, "You know what? I think I need to kind of give us a little bit of time, kind of see what's going on." And then if we need to close down for longer, we will. But let's at least take a week off and kind of see what happens.
Kind of the regroup.
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest with you, like we're normally like a week and a half out, and we had about 3 to 4 appointments for the following week. So that was another. The writing was on the wall.
Yeah. But then this week you reopened.
Yeah. So there was a lot of free time to sit there and kind of. I spent a lot of time on Facebook. I spent a lot of time on Instagram. I watched a lot of TV, a lot of news, and had a lot of people write me over our business email, and then also just write me on Instagram. Hey, can I set up an appointment with this? Or they text me, I need to get this done. So I talked with our guys at the shop, and we decided to open up this week. To be honest with you, we have a week's worth of work.
Nice.
The work that we have is, it's basic work, but everyone is doing it.
Hold on. Nothing is basic on a European car.
It's regular maintenance, I should say.
I mean, you're still considered an essential shop, right? I mean,
for sure.
Yeah. In Maryland, they're considering any automotive repair essential.
Right. So. And there was nothing illegal that we were doing. Obviously, we could be open as much as we wanted to, but the reality is that the phone's just not ringing.
Yeah.
The people that I have their cars in there, and they say they need brakes or they need tires. When I call them, I'm actually getting a higher approval rating, meaning like people are actually saying, "You know what? I don't have to be at work. I don't need the car tomorrow. So if it takes another day to get the parts, just keep the car." So I'm benefiting that way, but the reality is tomorrow's Friday and I only have enough work for Monday. So I think that probably early next week, we're going to shut down for another week or so and just kind of do what everyone else is doing and just let it, take its course.
How many employees do you have, Matt?
I have 4. Yeah. So I have 3 actual bays that are working. I guess I'm the 4th employee, and then I actually have a lady that comes in 3 days a week. So she is.
That's a tough decision. Yeah. That's a lot of weight on your shoulders. We talked the other day, and you're like, "Man, I don't know if I need to furlough these guys, if I need to lay them off." You don't know. We've never been through this.
No.
And the good thing with that, the one good thing out of this whole situation, there's no wrong.
Yeah,
you're right.
You'll learn what to do next time. And that's what the whole country, the whole world is learning, how to handle this situation, how to be ready for the next time. And that's one good thing out of this. Granted, it's all costing us money. It's costing the world money, but we're all learning something.
Yeah,
for sure. All of my employees are they're just like family to me. So, it was definitely,
tough.
I definitely slept on that pretty hard.
Yeah, it is definitely.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I'm fortunate that I'm able to pay my guys. But if this goes on for 6 months, I'm not going to be able to pay him for 6 months. You know what I mean? You're going to do the best you can do.
For sure.
So, but I wanted to give a different aspect of a different industry that's still in the automotive, how it was affecting and how you were handling your business.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's hard. I mean, you guys, you're off. I mean, I don't know. How is it for you, Manny?
I mean, it's just day by day, the best thing and the good thing that I have is just, I always try to bring out the best out of even the bad situations. Mm-hmm. And, I know deep in my heart that we're going to be okay, but there's still that fear, that, that anxiety that comes in, and it's just like, well, how about if things don't work out, and it's like, and, that's where our faith needs to kick in stronger. This is where we have to become stronger in our soul. What do we believe in? And it's just like having a shop. And like for me, having the shop is just like, no, my dream was to have this shop. This shop that's going to stay open. This shop, we're going to be okay. We're going to get through this. And I think that this is here to show us that, money isn't everything, and I mean, it isn't in some way, because we have to pay our rent and this is how we buy our groceries. But in a way, it's just, there's stronger things, and it's just, the work is definitely not there. I mean, I'm literally just day by day,
Yeah.
Call me just like, hey, how much for this dent? And it's just like this and this. You want to bring it in right now?
Yeah.
Right now, I mean, this car that you see back here, the client, called me since 12 o'clock, and he was just like, I'll be there at 1. Then he said, I'll be there at 2, and then I'll be there at 3. And he's just like, I'm here, and he shows up. I give him a quote, and it's just like, you want to drop it off, it's just that, but same thing is just, this situation is just bringing out the best out of all of us. And even with the little bit of work that I have, I'm still pushing myself to do even the highest of the highest quality.
Yeah.
Right now I may not have a job after this, so I'm going to make sure that this one, it's 120% perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's honestly all I could control, and
right. I think
we just have to look at, what else can I do for clients to find me, or the marketing, and different things like that. And it's just going to bring out the best out of all of us. I mean, for you, I could only imagine how much more pressure it would be for you, because you have, 3 other guys that kind of rely out of how you manage things. And all I want to say, Matt, is just be strong, and it's just like, just the best thing will come,
I think we're going to figure out who our support system is.
Yeah.
Who's going to help you in this type of thing, friends and people that we know, reaching out and talking. This type of thing is what's going to keep the brain. And that's the hardest thing right now. Mm-hmm. The hardest thing out of this whole thing isn't money.
Yeah.
It isn't there's a roof over your head. They're not taking your house away. Your credit cards aren't giving you late fees. It's the mental game of employees, work, family, being home for a week. I don't know what it's going to be like if I'm here for 4 weeks. I mean, geez. I may become a whittler or something, a log cabin builder or something. I don't know, but it's just going to be a new way of life, and just trying to figure it out and getting our feet. So I appreciate you coming on, Matt.
Yeah, no problem.
We talk quite a bit, but I wanted to get a different aspect, and be safe out there.
Yeah, real quick, Ryan. One thing I did do is I did decide to call a couple of the older customers I have, just kind of check in on them. They're some of my best customers, and I figured I would just check in on them, make sure they didn't need me to go pick up something for them. I mean, We're out, right?
Yep.
That's what we got to do. We just got to take care of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, something little like that might make someone pay, or might help them. Yeah.
Even an email, I did an email blast last week and just said, hey, we are closed. I do have some guys still kind of cleaning some stuff up to a lot of the customers that I had and just sent it out and just said, hey, if you guys need anything, please let us know. One thing that I'm super happy that I can do, my sister-in-law does work in the hospital. And earlier this week, we sent a ton of pizzas and salads to the whole medical crew there, just as a thank you, and that's the stuff we need to start doing is these guys that are putting their life on the hands. It's a war in these hospital rooms, and just put it out there. It was my wife's idea. She's like, let's feed these guys and try to do something that we can do. I can't go out and buy 3,000 masks and all this stuff, but it was just a nice step forward. So as you guys are still around, just think about that. Those guys that are out there, the police, the fire, none of these guys want to be in this right now. A lot of times we're taking it on ourselves. Just like you said, Matt, you're thinking beyond. You're not thinking now. You're thinking the future.
Yeah.
So keep up the good work, Matt. I'm sure we'll talk.
Thanks, Ryan.
Your hair looks amazing. I'll see you later, bud. Thank you. And Neuromotive, give them your Facebook. What is your Instagram and Facebook?
You can catch me on Euromotive Auto Service, or my personal one is JDM Matt. Believe it or not,
this dude has the baddest Integra Type R. You'll see. Yes, I said Integra Type R.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm a JDM guy at heart too.
Nice.
All right. Well, stay safe out there, guys.
Thank you. Same to you, Matt.
Yep.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
buddy. See ya. Good friend, man. Let me tell you, he's a good dude. So we're gonna call a body shop manager and see how they're holding it up.
Yeah.
I got my wife in here. She's over here talking. Let's see what we got here. Let's get Mr. James on, and he's one of the managers at one of my shops. So we're gonna hear how he's handling.
Is he gonna tell us how the other PDR guys work?
He may actually. He may. Let's get him on. Guys, James.
Hello.
What's up, Mr. James?
What's up, buddy?
How are you?
Doing well.
Yeah, I got my buddy, Mr. Manny PDR here from nice sunny California.
Hey, James.
Hey, what's up, man?
So I'm bringing you on. He's one of the body shop managers. I've known James probably 20 years. When I first started this company, he was a huge, huge help to me. Just kind of fed me, just kept finding work. And I was there every day,
Yeah.
Ashley's like, man, what are you doing over there? I was like, I don't know. He just keeps calling, we're just going to keep going. So he was a big influence on helping RPS grow. So I appreciate that. And, I wanted to bring you on to kind of give a different aspect of the body shop life. How is it with parts deliveries? Is it slow? Is it busy? What's going on over there?
We are luckily one of the steady shops from what I'm being told around, from the different adjusters I get to talk to, which we don't have to see many of them, and only the State Farm guys we've been seeing this week. I don't understand that, but it seems like every other insurance company is shut down. We haven't really, it hasn't come yet where we're having a snag on getting parts. We have a Volvo in there now that it's just an older Volvo we can't get a bumper for, but that is what it is. But like GM, with them and Ford and all shut down, we knock on wood, the crash parts we need, we're still getting.
Nice.
I know service wise, they're dying. Nobody's going out to get an oil change no more or anything like that. But yeah, in our world, I feel like we're truly blessed down, where I'm at. We still have work where the guys are working and I don't have to let anyone go, so to speak,
Yeah. Yeah. And do you see a big difference with parts? Obviously it's taking longer because I just read that it looks like Keystone LKQ in this area is going to 3 days a week.
Really?
Yeah. See, I'm the guy that gets to sit home and do nothing all day. So I get to read all this stuff that I read. So I can help inform you on what's going on in your business.
Yeah. Yeah, you're going to start a consulting business.
That's it. That's it.
There you go.
So Manny wants to know, how's that other dent guy doing that's in there pushing the dents for me?
Say that again.
Manny wants to know how that other dent guy's doing while I've closed RPS.
He is the best. Oh, wasn't I supposed to say that out loud? No, that's right. I do have dents. No, I'm just kidding. No, I mean, without honestly, I mean, I even messed with you today about it, but I mean, I'm not calling anybody else. I can tell you that 100%, unless it's I have to. Yeah.
Some of my shops have said the same. You know.
Yeah, I mean, like, we're just writing conventional repairs at this point until you tell me hey, I'm back. You know.
When I'm like, hey, I need some money. I've been sitting at home and I weigh 500 pounds. You know, we've been eating those Utz potato chips I was talking about. So, you know.
Oh yeah. Good stuff.
I wanted to ask, how are the insurance adjusters being right now? Are they being more lenient on things, or are they still like nickel and diamond stuff, or how's the relationship with you at this time?
Honestly, it's been pretty easy. Luckily, I mean, like, I did one today for farmers, and you know, like Allstate started the whole virtual assist thing, and everyone in our industry was like, we're not doing it. But it's really not that bad, depending on the guy that you get, you know. Luckily with the local guys, I can just text them and be like, hey, let's do a VA. And he's like, yeah, no problem. And we just handle it. But like, I had one today for farmers. I mean, the guy was like, he was from Florida. I didn't even know they had a virtual assist app. He texted to me. I did it within 5 minutes. He's sending me, print screens within 20 minutes saying, keep on rolling, you know. It's actually sped us up a little bit. I mean, which is kind of cool, you know. I mean, dealing with like, you know, your progressives, I mean, you have to like try to get a hold of the adjuster, then he emails you everything, and you got to upload, and they're still insurance adjusters. I mean, they have a job to do, I get it, you know, but I mean, they're gonna definitely they're giving a little bit more.
Yeah, and I think they're in the same state of mind of just get done with it. I just want to be done with it. They don't want to deal with it either.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's just because it's such an uncertainty right now. You know, nobody knows what's coming next.
Yeah.
You know, like what's the announcement next week? What's the announcement in 2 weeks?
Now, how are you guys being precautious? How are you handling? Are you wiping cars down? Are you cleaning everyone? What is your steps?
Yeah, I mean, what we're doing, you know, we actually got something in, I got an email last week from Nissan, you know, on what their recommendations are on the be precautious. But basically what we're doing is we're going out there with our cleaner, gloves. We're wiping down basically anything that our technician would touch. We're basically sanitizing the whole inside of the vehicle, the outside of the vehicle. We have steering wheel covers we're putting over steering wheels, bag covers over the seats, you know, just, I mean, the typical stuff that you would do normally, but like, we're actually taking the extra step of getting the steering wheel covers and putting them on there so the guys aren't, you know, once we feel it's sanitized, we put the steering wheel cover over, then they, you know, pull it into the shop, and you know, we do that before, and then before we, you know, after we QC it, my QC guy basically does the same thing, because you know, in the body shop world, it touches so many different hands.
Well, the good thing in your shop is it's pretty streamlined, and it's a big enough shop that they're at least 6 feet away.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is that, you know, even with the, you know, resizing of your business that they want us to do, like, I have 4 guys in the office. 3 guys are within the same 4 walls. I'm in my own 4 walls, but I'm in and out all day. I mean, me and the 3 adjusters, we're in and out all day.
Yeah.
You know, I have, 6 guys in the one little section, and they're all, like you said, they're more than 6 feet apart.
Your little section is a really little section, so.
Well,
he's working in a massive dealership, so his little
Yeah,
sections are not little sections. So
yeah.
let me
You
say,
know, so,
I always have inside space there. So,
Oh yeah.
but no, I just wanted to check in, get a different aspect of the body
man.
shop life right now. I may check back in the next few weeks and see where you guys are.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean that's going to be the scary thing. It's kind of like I think you said earlier, where it's 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm thinking middle of this month, end of this month, we're going to be kind of, I'm nervous. You know what I mean? Like, I know the RO counts keep going down; they're not going up.
Got a question: Is the body shop charging for the wipe down?
I am, yeah.
Okay.
Some insurance companies pay it, some don't. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, some of them, they don't feel that they owe for it. They're like, that's just part of the process. Some of them are like, no, you got to do it. We're paying for it. You're doing it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a cost. It's time. You know what I mean? Even if it's an hour, I mean, $40 is $40.
Yeah.
know?
I mean, when you got to put gloves on and glasses on, and, you got to do all the safety precautions to protect yourself, but then also protect the staff that's touching the cars,
Yeah.
I'll tell you one movement I'm going to start, and I'm naming it right here. I'm calling it the COVID cut because I need a damn haircut so bad.
Right?
We're all going to be rocking the bald heads. Kind of like Lee Roth in here. We're going to be rocking it. It's going to be his trend. So I appreciate you coming on, man. Just
Absolutely,
checking in and let me know if you need anything but a dent fixed, and we'll be good.
Absolutely.
See you, buddy.
All right, boys. I appreciate it.
Stay safe out there.
Thank you. You as well.
See you, bud. Good dude, man. I'll tell you, when I was building this thing, he fed me. He was really good to me. And then there was a lot of stuff that he probably should have taken himself, but he was good to me. So
it's awesome how some of this shop managers kind of become friends and family after a long
you
time.
worked in the body shop too, so you know how it is.
Yeah.
And I'm big on relationships.
Yeah.
And you could tell right there. I'll fix it. I'm not going to call somebody else. And
that was the hardest part about me having the shop, because I had a lot of shops that kind of helped me build my company. And it was hard for me to say, hey, I'm not going to be able to come no more, because these are people who,
bro, anxiety through the roof, bro. It is through the roof. Every time that phone rings, I can just feel my body go, ooh, and you're on the phone and they're like, you can't make an exception for me? And I'm like, nope, closed. Well, what are we going to do? I'm like, you don't work at a crochet shop. You work at a body shop, fix it. So it is what it is. I'm going to bring another guest on. We are definitely going over that hour mark. We've got a ton of guests still, and we're just going to keep rolling.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of people have something to do, probably, right?
Hey, we're going to keep rolling. It's all good. I've been sitting watching Tiger Joe for 3 nights, so I'm ready. If you guys haven't seen that on Netflix yet, it's pretty interesting.
I have not.
So let's get this next guest on. Let's see if we can get him on. He's going to be a surprise for you guys.
Hello.
Mr. Jim Mitchell, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing great. How was your nap?
Oh, my nap was solid, man. Every night you got to come home and get one of those 30-minute power naps.
I'm getting used to it now. Now it's, now I'm like, my wife's like, you're going to take a what? And I'm like, a nap. She's like, huh?
I posted to one of my groups yesterday. I think that I spent like a grand total of an hour awake yesterday, which apparently I needed that, because I don't think people normally sleep for 23 hours over the course of the day.
So I want to congratulate you on the new tool line that you've just launched. The Revolution stuff looks pretty good. So congratulations.
Yeah. Well, most of the congrats goes to Mike Casper there. He's the brains behind it. I just had a platform to show people. But my brain doesn't work like that, man. It's really hard for me to design tools. I'm just a loud mouth about other people's tools. So what are you doing in your business? Are you closed? Are you open? What's going on? Well, we are technically closed. I was kind of listening off and on. I'm sitting here editing some videos to the show, and technically we're closed, but we're still getting those calls from retail customers. And you know, my shop runs. We're weird. We have a really, really super high running cost. We've got 6 guys working for us, and I had to lay some of them off just looking for the future, but they keep showing up anyways, which I think says that I have a great group of guys. Shout out to them if any of them are listening. So we're there. We're still there. The wholesale accounts are all closed. Yeah. So just retail here and there is all we're really running.
Okay. So it's kind of like a appointment only type retail. So when they call, you're kind of scheduling them and making it worth your trip in.
Yeah, exactly. We're there. I mean, we're making tools. I mean, we make all the tools there at the shop too. So we're already there. So if somebody wants to come through, I'll just go ahead and hop on their car real quick.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good.
But still, I felt like it was kind of my civic duty to mostly close down.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it hurts the pocketbook, but at the end of all this, man, this is an event. This isn't a new way of life.
Yeah.
You know, this is just something we all got to get through together, and we're all in the same boat. So it's not really, I'm trying not to sweat it. How about that?
And, you know, I look at it as this. This is my personal take on it. At the end of the day, when this is all somewhat leveled out and the panic is gone and everything going on, we're all on the same playing field. There's no advantage right now. There is zero advantage. If you're out there hustling, you're out there hustling. Yeah. Great. But if you get sick, you're down for months anyway. So, you know, this is kind of a section of life to where we're all going to hit that gate at 1,000,000 miles an hour and try to figure it out, because car sales are going to be down. Wholesale sales are going to be down. It's just going to be a slow start, you know, and we're all going to have to figure it out. Kind of like Chris White said, was a different angle, you know, just try to make it work. So it's scary times.
Really hope for us, you know, when you run a business, especially a larger like retail shop like we do, like there's so much back end stuff that people could be doing right now.
Yeah.
I really hope people just aren't, I'm churning, you know, like I'm continuing to push. I mean, you might not see it, but you know, I'm having conversations with our marketing director. I'm having conversations with this person. That all the things that I've been putting off for the last year.
Yes.
You know, I'm getting it done now. I mean, your tomorrow is going to depend on what you're doing today. So there's still things to be done. And at the end of the day, listen, every one of us has been broke. Like if you go broke for a while, just churn your way out of it like you did before, you know, like
when I decided to shut this thing down, and I looked at my wife and I'm like, I don't know what to do. You know, it was hard. Mm-hmm. This is hard. This is my baby. Besides my kid, this is me, dude. This is my thing. And she looks at me and says, "Hey, Rye, you didn't have shit when you started." And I'm like,
"Word.
Okay, we're closing." You know, she's the smart one out of the group, you know, so.
Well, I mean, and think about it. What dent tech do you know that didn't jump into this and then immediately spend the first 6 months broke? Like, it just happens for a lot of people, you know? Yeah. Like, we've all been there, but all of us persevered. All of us did something, drive, whatever it was, to build our businesses, and we're going to do it again. Yeah. It's not, I just don't want people to get down on themselves and throw away their tools and, you know, like, there's stuff to be doing.
All I can say is before they do that, call me.
Right. Yeah. I like tools, man. But yeah, it's really just hanging on, and I'm getting to spend more time with the family right now too, which doesn't suck.
I said that to Manny, and we talked about it early in the show, that I'm getting to, you know, be my kid's superhero right now. So it's super special for me. Terrible times. Yeah. But I'm making the best of it. Yeah. You know.
Man, that's what you got to do. I really hope people can maintain that positive outlook. I mean, hey, when everybody's broke, nobody's broke. How about that?
And at the end of the day, it's just money.
Yeah.
Right now, nobody needs to pay their bills anyway. For the first time in the world, you know.
I'm a car guy. I've got lots of cars, right? And I look around my garage, and I've got 4 of them parked. You know, I'm like, who the fuck cares? Pardon my language. Who cares if one of these has to go away? You know, like it's just stuff. It's just things.
Exactly.
It's not. It's not the end of the world for me.
Yeah, that's the right attitude right there.
So where can guys
Yeah,
buy your
I mean-
tools and your stuff, Jim?
RevolutionPDRtools.com. And as always, we've got the training at realworldpdr.com, which has been interesting. You see a lot of guys, a little more advanced techs, they're kind of getting out of the training, trying to save their money. But we've got this huge influx of new techs who realize, hey, I've got time now. I can sit around in my garage and learn how to push some dents. So it's kind of been interesting to see that end up in a wash.
Yeah. Yeah. And you've actually got one of the guys in here that seems like he works in my area. Adam Jones, he was at your event.
Oh, yeah.
So he's an avid watcher. So it's, you know.
Yeah, I was going to say, you know, congratulations with your show, man. You're doing a really great job. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, amazing.
Well, I appreciate you coming on, bud.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me.
And keep it real and enjoy your day. If you need anything, reach out.
All right, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
See ya.
Take care.
Look at that. Positivity is glowing here. And we've got a guy with the Corona cut coming on next. So here he comes. Mr. Lee Roth, what's going on?
Hey, gentlemen, how y'all doing?
How are you?
I'm doing great. Got the Corona going.
It's coming. I'm telling you right now. Look at this thing. It's coming. I'm going to be on the show in a couple weeks with no hair. It's coming.
Did I shine it up?
No need for that haircut, but
He's got the new trend. He just didn't know it. He's breaking it.
Did I shine it up well enough for you?
good.
So what's going on? How are you? I know we talked earlier, and you're in Texas in home.
Yep, I'm at home in Texas.
So how's it going there? Are you just?
You know, we're just like everybody else. We're doing the best that we can with what we've got, and you know, everything's slow right now. Half of so much is shut down, but all in all, we're doing okay. We're hanging in there. We're hanging tough, and just trying to stay safe and do the best we can with what we've got.
Lee, are you at the new facility that you guys had just built?
The new facility is coming together. I'm in and out of there at this point. I don't have it 100% complete, but it's getting real close. Matter of fact, I've got a bunch of guys that have sent me some banners to hang up in the shop, and I really appreciate that. And I hope I get a bunch more. I could use one of those cool ones back there, Manny, behind you, and an RPS banner as well. But no, it's coming together and having a great time putting it together. The shop is amazing. It's 6,000 square feet of Taj Mahal, and I'm real excited about the new location.
Nice. And so do you guys have any like students or any like school right now going on, or?
It's been pretty tough right now. I've had a couple of people that have wanted to be able to come in. We've had a bunch of reschedules. No cancellations, fortunately, but we've got to get a bunch of people, especially some of our dealership people are rescheduling till after all this slows down. So we're not doing very much. I got a little bit going on here and there. I'm actually doing a one-on-one right now, just because it's two of us in a 6,000 square foot shop. So it's not a problem. I think I can keep the distance. It's no big deal. Even over the shoulder, I can do it, from a distance. But like I said, we're doing the best we can. And, to be honest with you though, and this is something brand new, if you don't mind, Todd Sudek, who y'all know is the owner of Dinking, Todd has been working diligently over the last couple of weeks to try to help a bunch of people out. And he's actually gotten a foundation deal together to do some scholarships for some guys that want to get into the industry. We've got a big scholarship program for 20 guys. And I'm taking pre-registers right now. Guys can call me directly or get me on Facebook or Instagram, whatever. But we're going to have 20 guys that are going to get a 5-week program with tools, everything completely paid.
That's awesome.
And it's just our way of trying to pay back to everybody in the community, in the industry, as much as we can.
That's awesome.
Good.
And this is something that's just come about literally within the last 48 hours that he's been putting together, and it's fabulous. I'm real excited about being able to do this for some people.
Now, your trainee that you're having, is he from Texas or is he from out of town?
He's from Texas right now.
Okay. Good.
So
Good.
no, he's a local guy. So he's, you know, and again, so he's not traveling. He's not, you know, coming in from anywhere. And so he's fine. And that's the thing. I mean, I had a couple of students that were supposed to come in from Louisiana. Guess what? They're not coming.
Yeah.
And so, you know, they're having to reschedule. And, you know, I've got guys from all over the country that were scheduled to come in. So, yeah.
So you're full-time in Texas now instead of going out.
Well, for the most part, I mean, I'll still do some travel when I have to. I still go out, you know, to California whenever I need to. But because of the new location up and coming, and everything that we're trying to do here with our vets and getting the VOC rehab and the post 9/11 GI Bill with the approval for Texas, it's going to keep me grounded here in Texas for the most part, which I'm fairly excited about.
Yeah.
So is my daughter and, you know, everybody else. So.
You know, the other thing I wanted to bring up is your tool line that you launched at MTE. Looks super awesome.
Thank you. The Lee Ross Signature Series. I'm pretty excited about it. It is. It's custompdrtools.com is the website.
Okay. Yeah. Check that out already.
Yeah. Thanks, man. You know, I'm real excited about them. And, you know, like I've told several people, Mike Thrower from B&D Tools is who's making them for me and doing a great job, and the mirror finish on them and just the design of those things. I'm super proud of them. Of course, I'm real proud of specifically one of them, which has never been done in the industry before, which is that interchangeable side tool tip for doors and access. And, you know, it's just kind of, I look at it from this aspect. I'm enjoying using those tools. They're making me money. I like them. And I'm hoping everybody else gets the opportunity to try them and they make them some money. And if that's the case, then I'm happy, you know. If they sell and I make a little money on the backside, I'm thrilled. You know, I just want, I like, you know, me, you guys know me. I love this industry. This industry's been good to me and my family, and I want to pay it forward. And anything I can do to help anybody in this industry with anything, I'm there to do it.
Yeah. You know, and I came out with the shut ups this year with Blem, and you know, it's kind of the same thing. It's kind of an idea that you've had, a tool that you felt like you needed.
Yeah.
And you built it. And then you're like, okay, you know, let's bring it to market. You bring it to market and you're like, I don't give a shit if it sells. I know it works.
Right.
It's not about the money. It's just because you wanted that tool. You know, it worked, and you wanted to bring it to some other guys and kind of say they work.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, so
absolutely right.
You know, anything else, you know, you've got going on that you've adjusted since this whole thing's been going down?
You know, just, you know, getting to spend a little bit more time with my daughter, who's getting ready to turn 16 here in a couple of weeks, which is scary as hell for that matter. But she's a good kid, and, you know, dealing with that. And so I'm excited about that. But just, you know, I'm in a fairly fortunate situation for myself. I'm hanging in there okay. And, you know, times are tough for everybody, I mean, including myself, but, you know, they could be a lot worse. And I'm just, I'm happy to be as good as we are at this point, and hope that everybody stays safe and we get through this thing in a hurry, and we're better on the other side is the whole key.
Yeah.
Sorry for the helicopters again tonight. They're running some more stuff to New York, so it's super loud here. I don't know if you guys can hear it.
Can't hear it at all, bud.
So, you know, be safe out there, you know, take the precautions is the biggest thing. And definitely, you know, the best thing about this show is it's an open network. If you guys just want to call and talk because you're struggling with something or want to run something by somebody, Manny, me, anybody, you know what I mean? It's all an open community. So we're lucky that we have this type of stuff and we can do it.
I agree. I love your show, man. You're doing a great job with it. And just, you know, from me to the entire industry, you know, if there's anything I can ever do to help anybody, I don't care what it is. Even if somebody that's new in the industry is stuck on a dent and doesn't know where to start it, text me a picture. If you can't get a hold of me, just like you, Ryan, you're not trying. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, my phone number, anywhere. I'm more than willing to try to help anybody that I can.
Yeah. I mean, that's what this is all about.
Absolutely. You're right. Totally agree with you.
I mean, I had my local competitor on was my first guest. You know, that's that's what this is about. It's about the community. You know what I mean? It's about being able to work through your problems. And this is some shit that's going on that's real. You know,
well, here's the thing, and you were talking about it earlier. You're not going through this, Manny. You're not going through this. I'm not going through. We're all going through it. The entire world is going through it. Our entire industry. I mean, there's hail guys out there that do nothing but chase hail that are scared to death right now because they don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, and I totally understand. I've been there.
I honestly don't think there's no one in the world that's not being affected one way or another by it.
I don't know. I do have one body guy friend that's a big conspiracy guy, and you know, this is planted, and you know, it's the craziest thing. But you know, let me tell you one thing: my wife's in this field, and this is some real shit. So, but thanks, Lee. I appreciate you coming on, bud.
My pleasure. Anytime, and you guys stay safe. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, be safe,
you guys. Good dude. Good dude. That was a good one. I didn't know he was setting up in Texas. Yeah. So that's news for me. So I'm going to bring another phone guest, and we're going to keep rolling through the couple guys that are in the backstage. I'm sorry we are taking forever. It's probably going to be a later show than we expected, but it is what it is, right? Still got people watching.
Tomorrow.
Let's get this next guy on here. And I'm sorry I'm not responding to the comments. It's a lot of comments, so it's hard to.
Hello?
Dave-O, what's going on?
What's going on? What's up?
How are you?
Hear me?
How are you? I can hear you good.
All right, perfect.
So I got Manny's PDR on here.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, Manny? Good to hear your voice.
Yeah, man.
I hear it every day on Instagram, so I mean, it's not like it's nothing new.
I know Manny is super positive these days, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he always has been from the first day I met him. And I talk about that story all the time where we met in a parking lot during like the Dent Olympics or Drunk Dent Olympics at MTE. And that was the first time meeting him. And he's always been the same guy, always been that positive. So big ups to Manny for that. What's up?
So how are things holding on your end? What's your, you know, you are working with Chris from Dentless Touch. What's going on? You know, how are you guys taking precautions? Are you guys open?
We are on par with every person you just previously talked to. We are taking the same thing, right? Matt Phones talked about how our area specifically is they're uncomfortable. And it's just a weird vibe that's kind of going on in the air. And people don't really know what to do. Me, I'm taking kind of like the Jim Mitchell approach where, you know, if you want to get stuff done, and even Manny, like you said too, if you want to get stuff done, let's get it done. You know, there are people out there that are willing to, you know, I guess risk their health for a dent. And honestly, I am as well. Like, right. I'm willing to go ahead and do that. So, you know, Matt said he's kind of, you know, that they're kind of on call. So are we. So if there's something that needs to be done, body shop wise, tomorrow we have, I know me personally, I have 2 cars at the dealership that need to get done. So they're still working. It's very small numbers in the back over there. You know, usually you see some of these big dealerships with 30, 40, you know, mechanics back there. There's like 4 or 5, right? And they're all gloved up and masked up and stuff. And the cars aren't being, you know, bought and sold like they were just, you know, in a matter of weeks. So we're in the same boat as everyone else and taking it day by day.
Yeah, it's definitely an adjustment.
A mask, Dave, when you're out and about, or?
I can kind of hear him. I can't really hear him. What did you say?
Sorry, no, I was going to ask, are you wearing a mask when you're out and about?
Yeah. So mask, gloves, you know, the normal stuff that everyone's trying to do. No handshaking, the distance, you know, but yeah, I mean, for me personally, as Dave, as a technician, give me the keys, give me the car, like, let's get this done. And no, then we can really be at a distance. Right. That's kind of how I've always just ran things, and I'm still doing it that way. Just with gloves and a mask on, but hey, where are the keys? Where's the car? Let's get it done and keep it moving, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. You know, it's very different out there. You know, it's still, you're still getting, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, it's good.
You're still getting that retail customer that says, "Oh, I'm at home. We got all this free time. I'm going to get my car fixed."
Last week we had an older gentleman come into our shop, and I didn't know anything until we actually pulled the car in, and I looked kind of in that driver's door there, and I noticed that they worked at Northern Virginia Community College here. So we get done with the whole car and everything, and I asked him, "Oh, do you teach at the school?" And he was the medical director of like the Nova or Northern Virginia Community College over here. I said, how are you feeling? Because however you're feeling, then that's how I'm going to kind of take it, because we don't really know how to feel. And he kind of gave this, like, I don't want to say nonchalant, like, answer, but he wasn't, I don't know if it was just because it wasn't as serious or as developed within the last couple of days or weeks. But he just didn't seem to take the approach that I thought someone in that position would to this whole virus thing. So it kind of made me feel a little bit more at ease, I guess, with going about my day-to-day in business and tech and dents and getting stuff done. That's just going to allow me to, okay, yes, we need to take precautions, but let's still keep it moving if we can. But I think, like everyone's talking about, within the next couple of weeks, that's really going to get, there's going to be a kibosh put on that. And we're all going to be kind of holed up, in our homes and spending time with the family and stuff like that. Me, thankfully, I recently just started, I started my undergrad at Nova. So I have 3 classes worth of stuff to get done by May. So I am completely content with being holed up, at the house, having ample amount of time to get, these things done. Whereas if I was working completely full time, like we normally are, and sometimes weekends, where obviously that schoolwork would be a little more difficult to do.
Exactly. Yeah. It definitely changes your perspective a little bit, on your daily. There's some mornings. I mean, today was a full work day. I worked all day in the garage on video and media and yesterday I spent all day with Macy and just kind of laid around and didn't do a whole lot. And I looked at my wife and I said, man, it's 3:30 and I haven't done a damn thing. And she's like, you got plenty of time. What do you got to get done? Like, just enjoy it. You're never like this. And I'm like, you're right.
And this slowing down of time for people are just having a hard time adjusting. I think a lot of people, and I think just including myself, but it's been kind of, a different perspective, like you said, they kind of hide behind work. And so even just like personal issues or just, things going on within family, like people go to work and like hide behind it, right? Now people are having to face certain things or just be with people and actually start to open up, these cans of worms that maybe people kind of hide behind work. It's a huge reset. Like I think everyone on the show talks about. And for me, honestly, it's perfect. Cause like I said, I have ample amount of time to get a bunch of stuff done that I need to. And then even like Jim said too, editing videos, certain marketing things that you wanted to get done.
Oh yeah.
There's plenty of people in my career, with PDR. And then even just when I started doing, photo and video of dents along with everyone else, I don't have time to do that. Well, guess what, guys?
We got time.
Guess what? Everyone who's ever, talked to someone about a camera or audio or this, you have an ample amount of time to really get that skill up to a decent level and start using it for your business.
And if you don't do it now,
no better time than right now.
If you don't do it now, you're not going to do it.
Yep.
You were never going to do it in the first place.
Yeah. Well, look, bud, I want to get your input on that, and I appreciate you coming on. Anything you got to say out here to these guys that are watching?
Nothing, man. Just keep it moving, I think that this will pass. I think that, if we just kind of just take it easy, take a step back, be with your loved ones, do all that good stuff, that we actually have time to do right now. Yeah. That's kind of really it. I'm just I'm taking it day by day as long as everyone else.
Good. And congrats on.
Be safe out there, brother.
What did you say?
Sorry, no, I said best wishes to you and be safe out there.
Yeah, you too, man. And keep those Instagram, keep the shop keep coming along. I mean, seeing everything, little thing that you're doing there and that whole journey. I love watching that whole process through Instagram. I think, I think what you need to do is put a camera up in the corner on a tripod and just document your entire day, and just leave it there in the corner for yourself, because you already do it on Instagram, you know. And I love watching it. I've loved everything that you've been doing, you know, with that entire shop, just from knowing you previously before it, and then now, you know, what you're doing with it. That's awesome. Ryan, the show looks great. I see the I don't know if you got a new lens or what, but that wide angle looks fire, you know? So, you know, everyone's, I think, kind of focusing on things or getting stuff done that they wanted to get done now, and some ample time to do it. And everyone just keep pushing, man.
I really enjoyed the door debacle. That was, I couldn't wait till the next day till he was fixing the door that was hitting the flooring over there. So, you know, it definitely kept me going. You know, it's
nice.
But no, man, I appreciate you coming on. It was kind of a last minute thing. I was going to actually just surprise you, and Ashley was like, "Oh no, you got to give him a heads up." So
yeah, hey, whatever, no worries.
You know, but thanks for coming on, bro. Be safe.
All right, guys.
We're all going to make it through this shit box.
All right, take it easy, guys.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Have a good
Good old Dave-O. We're going to go another phone call, and then we've got 2 more video guests, and actually 3 more video guests, and we're going to roll through this. I am sorry for the guys that are waiting in backstage. It is taking forever. Getting some nice fingers flicked at me down here. So, you know, it is what it is. We're keeping it real, right? We're keeping it real.
Yeah, that's it. Real stories, man. Real people.
Let's get this guy on here. This guy's in the real shit right now.
Hey.
Chris Dale, what's going on?
What's up, Ryan? How are you?
And we got Mr. Manny PDR on here too.
Hey, Chris.
I've been watching. I see. How's it going?
So, how's it doing up there in New York?
Long Island, New York, and
it's the same shit
scary,
box,
man.
Right?
No, I'm thankful I'm not in Manhattan right now.
You're right. You're right. So you're not a full-time dent guy. I'm going to get you on for a full interview to go through your whole story, and I don't want to give it all away.
Oh boy!
But you're technically still essential right now, correct?
Well, I work for New York City Transit. We were essential.
Okay.
And then a couple of people were positive at my job for COVID-19. One guy died.
Oh, Jesus.
And they shut us down. They shut my depot down.
Wow.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. It's look, it's not a conspiracy theory. People are dying, and it's scary.
Yeah, it's a different world. You know, I think when this is all over, we're all going to take a lot of different precautions we never took before.
Yeah,
you know?
damn right.
You know,
yeah. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were goofing about people wearing masks and stuff, and now we're not goofing about it no more. You know,
no, it's real life stuff, man. You know, I mean, a couple of weeks ago, it wasn't really. It was like 2 weeks ago, and I went to the liquor store to grab wine for my wife and beer for myself. Can't put it all on her, but I'm wearing black rubber gloves, right? And the guy looks at me and he's like, and I'm like, you know, I hand him my credit card, all nice and simple. Don't even have my wallet, you know. And this guy looks at me like I'm got something crazy. So I want to go back in there now and see. He's probably in a full hazmat suit, saying this dude knew something I didn't know. So
he's got a plastic sheet in between you and him.
You're right. You're right. You know, I wanted to call and kind of get you on because you're kind of very close to that epicenter, and I'm a little farther out.
I'm in the fucking epicenter, man.
You're right.
It's not fun.
You know, it's how are you holding up? What's you're not working every day, and what is your daily mental state of going through it? You know,
just I don't drink in a day. I'm only drinking at night. And thank God liquor stores are essential.
Yeah.
And just trying to keep busy, organize the house. I'm going to paint the room tomorrow. My phone stopped ringing. In the beginning, it was cool. My phone was ringing like crazy. Now, nope, it stopped.
Yeah, mine's dwindled down to at least some of my shops are still calling, but the retail is really ended.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, I'm small to begin with too, so
yeah. You know, I just said to Ashley, my wife, the other day, I said, man, I think next week I'm going to go out there and kick the fender of my other truck. And she's like, you're going to do what? And I was like, I'm going to kick the fender because 2 weeks of not pushing dents, Man, I feel bad for the first customer. We're going to be sanding and polishing everything, you know? So, but
hey, Manny, is that a backdrop or is that real? I can't tell.
That's real life shit there.
Is it?
Yeah, it was a decal that I put on right before I put in the floor. You know, it was kind of one of the last finished investments that I had in the shop before I could stay busy every day, and it just happened to be wrong timing. You know, it's just like I finished everything. It's just like, all right, we're ready to go, and then it's just like it starts. You know, things started to be shut down, so it's just like, wow, you know. But yeah,
well, looks good. Looks nice and clean.
Thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
He's done a good job. And I love the updates.
Yeah.
It's been like a good storyline. Like, okay, I got the sign on the wall, and then we got like some furniture, and then we got, you know, just recently you put the sign on the key out front, and I was like, man, you know, it's been fun to watch. It's been a really joyful thing, and then the door debacle, and you know that I just enjoy it. It's been fun, dude. You know. Well, Chris, you know I'm an open book. You know you can call anytime. If you just want to call and drink a beer with me, call away.
Yeah.
Call away.
Oh, it's gonna happen, buddy. It's
hey,
gonna happen.
I'm here. You know.
Be safe out there, Chris. You know.
Yeah, that's right.
Keep your head up and dent your own damn fender.
Yeah, you ain't kidding.
Can only go up from here. Keep that head clear and give me a ring when you need to chat.
Oh, thank you, sir.
I'll see you later, buddy.
Have a good one. Take care.
Yeah, New York, it's scary, man.
Yeah, man, it's scary stuff, bro. And it's only going to get, and they haven't peaked yet. We're 2 weeks behind New York, is what their projections are, and the peak for New York is not even peaked yet. So it
hasn't slowed down. Yeah, that's right.
So I'm going to get another video guest on. I'm going to let you introduce him and start the conversation on this one.
Hey, Raymond. What's up, bro?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Good.
Thanks for having me.
No problem.
Doing pretty good. Doing good, man. Just been locked down over here in Washington for going on to 2 weeks now. So it's been something else. It's been different, that's for sure.
And you guys were the first hit. Like you guys were the first ones to hit the news.
Yeah.
Ground zero, first state to be locked down. Not first state to be locked down. First state to declare a state of emergency.
Yeah.
And so. Yeah, we had it pretty bad out here. I think we had 50 people down before the rest of the country had even 70. So it hit us pretty hard at first, and luckily we're really far away from Seattle, 3 hours, so it didn't spread over here that fast. We do have quite a bit of cases out here in my county, but I go to the store and everyone has masks and everything. It's a whole nother world out here now. Things are definitely changing. Yeah, so I'm taking some all of this and a new strategy going back into it. So, now I'm going to have a sanitary process that a lot of the guys are already mentioning, sanitizing the panel before I begin, and definitely have gloves on, 6 to 10 feet away is what I want, between me and my customers. And I'm going to be cleaning everything, that I touch after I'm done, wipe it down once again. One thing I'm doing that's a little different is I'm using a steam cleaner. So I just ordered one and I'll be getting that in. And if I have to get inside the driver's seat, I don't want to be spraying it down with alcohol or anything like that. So I'm going to steam clean it. It kills 99% of germs and hopefully also viruses. It's approved by the CDC. So, doing stuff like that, if I need to remove, the trunk liner, I don't want to be spraying that down with Lysol and, getting funny smells in the cars or even staining, the fabric. That's the last thing I want to do. So that's something I'm doing over here. Or going to be doing.
One thing I've learned.
Or
go ahead.
What's that?
I said, are you completely closed or are you still kind of open or?
Yeah, so I'm not scheduling any repairs right now for this week. I've been scheduling everything for next week when the lockdown's supposed to go away. So we'll see if that changes. But I do have a full schedule for next week. This week I just been focusing on my dealership and another account that I have.
Nice.
And there's not much work coming in from them because all the auctions are shut down over here. So things are definitely tapering down quite a bit. So we'll see. We'll see what the next few weeks have in hand, but I'm ready to go for next week.
So one thing I have learned, 91% alcohol freezes the virus. You need to use 70% alcohol to wipe it down. So just a food for thought for everybody that's been spraying cars with 91. It's not doing what you think. And I had to learn that from the smart wifey. So that's what they're saying. All these research, and we don't know, all this stuff is still new to us. They're still figuring out that it stays on paper for so long and it's in boxes, and there's so much.
Down my Amazon packages.
Yeah. We're still learning about the mail. There's a big outbreak here with the post office and Amazon.
Really?
Both have got confirmed cases. So, the process I have here is like, it's like nuclear here, the steps we're taking here, just because of my wife's profession and knowing exactly what's going on.
Definitely.
So it's going to change a lot of the steps that we do on our daily, but it's for the better. It's for the better that people are actually washing their damn hands. You know what I mean? I mean, Jesus. But, what's your idea right now? How are you expecting when your lift does come up, your restrictions go away? What's your expectation forward?
Yeah, so I'm expecting retail work. So I'm mostly a retail tech. I only have a few accounts. And starting 2 weeks ago, most of my calls dropped off. Just a few days ago, I started getting 2-3 calls a day. So it's been good so far. I'm expecting to be about 50% of capacity busy going forward. That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm playing with other ideas. Okay, so sanitation is a really big deal now, and it's going to play a huge role in our country and around the world. So maybe I'll play with that idea and evolve something into the business to help me and help other people go forward with this new world that we have.
Good idea. Trying to, change his strategic outcome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's all going to be for all of us. It's all going to be an adjustment. It's all going to be us figuring out what the shift is. You know what I mean? It's all going to be that, okay, this is going to work. This used to work, but it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
You don't know what car sales are going to be. You have people that are laid off from their job right now. They're not going to be out buying a car unless they have to.
No.
So it's going to be adjustment on all of our hands. And I think the best thing with that is how you shift, how you're making that adjustment and your mental state. And I think the mental state is the biggest thing right now, because if this goes on for another 4 weeks or 5 weeks, it's going to be hard on a lot of us, because we're all grinders. I don't give a shit. Everybody that's in here is out there hustling every day, trying to figure it out and try to work through it and make money and enjoy what you do. We all love what we do, because we wouldn't be here doing it.
Absolutely.
I was talking today on my Instagram, man, that, anxiety is going to start kicking in, that fear is going to start kicking in. And that's where we just have to fight harder,
Yeah.
And it's scary stuff. And there's a lot of stuff we don't understand either, and but we keep pushing ourselves to how to better ourselves, how to better our business. Like you were saying, just keep evolving,
Yeah. One of the things I'm thinking is going to happen is people are going to be tight for money. So a lot of the work that typically goes to the body shops, people are going to price shop, and they're going to come across paintless dent removal. They're going to say, hey, what if maybe they can improve this, 80, 90%, and maybe there's a paint chip here, and I don't want it to be perfect, but if I can save $1,000 or $2,000, just make this look better, make my car drivable, make it look like a car again. Let's give a PDR a shot.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to be investing in some heavy duty tools that I haven't purchased yet, something like the Doodah. I know Ultra Tools has something similar to it. So Lee told me about it from, I think it's Dent King. I've been talking to him about it. So something like that, and, some other stuff.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I think that we are that one industry that, we're going to strive, really good when things, calm back down.
Well, the industry's changed a lot in the last 5 or 6 years. You can see the repairs that we're doing. Dude, I've passed on millions of dollars of work back in the day, because the shit that I'm fixing now, there ain't a chance in hell that I would try to fix that. You know what I mean? Now you're like, damn, I can get good money for this. and fixing worse damage. So the industry's changed. Even the hail, we've got a hail guy in here that does nothing but hail, and they're getting price a dent, and they're getting more money for hail cars. So the industry is definitely changing on the money end. And I think the education of this stuff is out there now. Guys are watching it on YouTube. I mean, besides the suction cup and the damn hot water and dry ice, but the education is definitely there. So I think we're definitely on that peak of getting the education out and the damage that we can fix and really trying to grow on that end.
Yeah. I think those YouTube videos are definitely going to help.
Yeah. Anything, any media, I really think Facebook is a bigger impact than YouTube. You're seeing the generations change. Facebook's a little easier for people to watch. So, Facebook, Instagram, there's a lot of
Instagram's huge for me.
There's a lot of different avenues anymore. And, I've said it before, it's a lot harder to run a service business in this day than it did 15 years ago. Just because there's so many more avenues to get a hold of you. Instagram messages, Facebook messages, Yelp messages, Google messages, email, text message, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So, which is good to get business, but it's also hard to maintain and keep that happy customer and make sure you reply because, you
have to keep track of everything.
Messages. Yeah, it's very difficult. So, but keep your head up. You guys will pull through this and keep positive,
Raymond, be safe out there, brother.
All right, you guys take care. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man.
Sorry for the wait, brother.
Nah, no worries. Love the show.
Have a good day. Good dude. Good dude. So
I forgot to tell you, you got to get that hairstyle that you saw on Raymond. I think you can make that happen, but
I could maybe. I mean, hey, you know what? I'm gonna have a mullet by the end of this. Maybe I'll let it grow and be a mullet and just dye the tips of it and come to MT Vegas with my mullet and it looked like Casper. So we got one question in here. He goes, when do you think all this stuff will go back to normal? I think it's all going to be state situational. Personally, this is my idea, not really my idea. This is my wife kind of chiming in and telling me, I'm thinking it's going to be a new normal. It's not going to be the old normal. And I think me personally here in Maryland, maybe June or July.
Wow.
That's my prediction. And in 3 months, you may look back and be like, damn, you were way off. I hope I'm way off, but that's my prediction.
No, but you know what? I think you're right about June. It's going to be that, at least, for us here in California, I'm thinking, that once summer really kicks in, things are hopefully, praying that things clear up. But I'm thinking about June too.
Well, we got a guy coming on next that's been sitting in the backstage drinking a lot of beers. I see, We got
to catch him all passed out right now.
Let's get him on there.
There he is.
What up, Mike?
How's it going?
Hey, you've been, how was that?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me pretty good?
You sound amazing.
Awesome.
I'm glad you charged your phone. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
I'm on the laptop. I'm on the laptop. Actually.
Stepped his game up. Look at this.
Boom. Oh, my camera's down here.
It's okay.
Bro.
How
are you doing?
How's that garage door drinking going?
Oh, it's going good, man. It's a good show. It was a good show.
Yeah?
Yeah. It was pretty informative all across the country. Dent guys coming together.
So
I got to tell you, out of all the dent guys who had a shop, Michael was the one that I didn't think he was going to shut down. And when I saw you shut down, I was like, whoa.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. I just, because I see that you're always open.
I'm pretty cutthroat. I am pretty cutthroat.
I know, because I see that you're always open by appointment. So I was just like, oh, maybe he doesn't have much to worry about. know?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's my whole deal going into this is maybe this is something, because you got to look at the reason why we've always been by appointment only was because if you Manny, you brought your car to me, you'd sleep better at night, or let's say it was only for a single day repair job, right? Like most PDR jobs, most repairs are. So if you're dropping it off at 8 o'clock in the morning, you'd feel better if you're at work or at home or wherever away from your investment. You'd feel a lot better if I was working on that vehicle the entire time I said I needed that vehicle, right? I mean, so that's why we're by appointment only, because we get people coming in from, trying to sell us media services or trying to, marketing services or whatever, or we get the news that comes in, we get, and that's has nothing to do with the customers. That's just straight up, I have to take time out of my day because of course they want to talk to me. And then now the vehicle that we, the customer that we told them our repair was only going to take so long ends up taking longer. And so
that doesn't happen. Doesn't ever happen.
So that's why we've always been by appointment only, because it keeps, man, my stress level goes through the roof. This thing doesn't stop turning. So
what made you shut down, Michael? I mean, like, for a lot of the health reasons, but I want to hear what's Michael's reason.
Be real, because me and you had this conversation and put it out there.
Okay.
And you talked about the perspective of the customer.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I mean, like I said, we've always been by appointment only, so people know they can't just drive up, and we don't accept walk-ins. Our doors have always been locked from the get-go. You can't walk in. So now when people are calling, I had a text conversation that went dead yesterday because I was telling him we were going to schedule this out for a later date, and the conversation went dead. And a lot of us are seeing that across the country. And that sucks. And you can't blame that on the customer. They're probably, looking at hard times ahead as well. So
I think you said it the best. When we talked, what was it, the day that you closed?
Yeah.
And, you were like, you were shocked that I closed. And I was like,
I was more shocked that he closed.
It's the right thing to do. Everybody's situation's different. Manny, your situation's different. You're by appointment only and you're doing 1 or 2 jobs. They schedule online.
Oh, Manny. So, I mean, you're, where are you located, Manny?
California.
Yeah. So, I mean, north or south?
I'm in Orange County, basically. So,
oh man. Okay.
Yeah. So, what works for me is that, I mean, we all know our business is not essential, but because my business is under out of repair.
Right.
I am essential. And because how the city, where my shop is, all the shops around me, they're all auto repair shops. So the city kind of only has one area where there's all just auto repair, so I'm okay to be open all day, but for the sake of my clients and for myself and, for our kids, I just decided to just, kind of just shut the door and just by appointments only. And if clients call me, we'll set that appointment. And I only live 5 minutes away. So that's kind of like a benefit,
Yeah.
And some clients just go on their own online and just book their appointments,
and it's, I don't know. Everybody's situation's different. You have guys that are out doing hail. You have guys that like me and you that shut the doors. And
my heart goes out to the dudes that are out on the road right now chasing. That's what I used to do, man. And it's like, what do you do as women chase too, men chase whatever. What do you do as a man when you know that this is the only way that our family's going to get through this? So you got to make the you got to make this shitty call, this really fucked up call on, am I going on the road? Am I going on the road so we can make bills this month, or am I staying home and we don't pay bills? And like, we don't know what's going to happen. Yeah, they're saying that they're not going to foreclose on shit or whatever, but dude, that's a scary situation to be in.
Yeah.
And we used to chase hell. So my heart goes out to the dudes who are chasing and those that aren't chasing and that are staying home. And
day by day, buddy.
It sucks. Yeah. This is, we're all, like you said earlier, we're all in the same shit box, man.
That's what I say all the time. You know, people are like, what do you mean? And I'm like, we really are. I don't give a shit who you are. If you're a hell guy.
Money doesn't matter right now. Money doesn't matter at all right now.
You know, it's,
I mean, because think about it. Like, really think about it. Like, we're asking families across the world to isolate themselves, but we got we got inmates across the world that are in prisons that are isolated, and that's something you wouldn't want to do to your worst enemy. And
they're free in Maryland.
At least I got my wife and my kids here, and like we're able to interact, and we go on walks. Today was a beautiful day. It was 81 degrees here. We went for a walk through the neighborhood. Kids rode their bikes. But could you imagine being by yourself or being, you know what I mean? It sucks, man. Yeah. We're all in this same shit box together.
And we're all figuring it out. You know, like I said, I mean, it's an open book. You know what I mean? Every night I've had somebody FaceTime me or Zoom call and sit here and drink beers. And I'm like, this is so weird. You know what I mean? Shit. I've never drank every day of the week. I'm an alcoholic. I've never, I'll have one beer at this like happy hour thing, and I'm like, hey, yeah. I'm
usually done drinking after 5 p.m. by now because I would start drinking at like noon, and I'm like, oh damn, I'm done.
You know, it's for me. I said it earlier. It's kind of a blessing just because I get to spend that time with the family, and granted, my wife's working every day, but she's trying to help the world and make it a better place. So, it's, I don't know. We're all going to figure it out. And the good thing is, I think we're all going to work together, I
was thinking, Jim Mitchell said, everybody working on the back end of their companies and those little bitty, the pieces of your Instagram or your Facebook or, all your little stuff that, you're editing videos, pictures, whatever that you want to do to get ready for when this goes back on. And I try to do that. And
figure it out, dude. You got a phone right there. It's not that. It's that, so much of my, like in this private chat that we got going on here, like I said, so much of my business on Instagram, or on Facebook too, is my personality. Like that's how I get out to the customers and everything. So how do I put myself out there to the customers whenever I'm freaking the fuck out too? You know what I mean? Like, how do I tell them, get your dents fucking fixed now? But I'm freaking out. Hey, let me tell you.
I don't know what's going to go on, but you should get your dents fixed.
Let me tell you, I just released it. That Willie's Quick prop rod video I just released 2 days ago. And I took more takes on that video than I have any other time that I've ever filmed. And I walked inside for lunch, and I get in lunch, and Ashley knows. She's like, what's wrong? And I was like, you know how fucking hard it is to do this video with a smiley face on my face and make it seem like nothing's going on around you? Do you know how hard this is? I was like, if you watch this video, that is the fakest smile you'll ever see of Ryan Shutt. But I pushed through it. You know what I mean? Today got a little easier. It's me figuring out how to push through those own things on my end. But you're right. How can you do things on social media and push through?
My Instagram. My Instagram story. Like you haven't seen me on there at all. And I don't know what to do, man. Like it's
keep doing it. You know why? Because it's gonna do like it did for me today. When I sat in here for 8 hours, I was in here for 8 hours filming video and doing media. By the end of the day, I was fine. Just trust me. Keep doing it. You know why I say keep doing it? You need to keep doing it for the community. Because all these other guys that watch your crazy ass do stuff about your mannequin and your wig, and that's the stuff people look forward to. That's the stuff that people sit back and want to see Manny struggling with his brand new floor he put down that the door doesn't open. People want to see that stuff. So stopping now isn't the right thing. You need to keep puddling through that, because at the end of the day, the people that are watching you, it's helping you too.
Yeah.
So get your ass back on Instagram and do your stupid shit.
And you know what's funny, Michael, is just that every time I watch your videos, just talking to him, I'm like, man, I look at Michael's face like a lot. And that now that you haven't been, I'm like, I miss Michael's face.
Yes. I watch the guy, and I'm sure you've seen him, and I've been posting a lot about it, trying to be positive. Marcus Luttrell. And he was the Navy SEAL that was the lone survival in that whole movie. That's a true story. Yeah. And every day he posts. Day 16, day 15. Go to his Facebook and his Instagram. Watch his stuff. The stuff he's doing on the daily. And that guy has been through the worst shit that you've ever seen in your whole life. And none of us will ever go through the terrible things that he was through. Just watch it. And tomorrow, after you watch a whole day, text me and be like, you were right. Because some of the shit that he's going through, and he's reaching out to New York, and he's like, just being real about stuff, like saying things, you're going to be like, you're right.
And, Gary Vee says that too. It's just like, you just got to be yourself. Just got to be you. You know what I mean? And that's what makes you unique.
Keep doing it, Mike. I'm telling you, bro.
Word. Thank you, guys.
Put that in the back of your head, because if not, I'm going to call you every day. You're going to get tired of seeing me. Really, there are people that we all have our own personality.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
We all do our own little thing. You got Don, you got Mike. You got all these guys that do different things throughout the industry.
Whoa! Hold up. Let's get this straight. Michael Casper, Mike Toledo. There's only one. There's only one real Mike. There's only one real Mike. Okay?
True. Mr. Jay Heretro. I can't even say your last name. And we shared a cab together.
You completely butchered it. Oh my God. You pronounced G.
So anyway, you're going to get back on Instagram, correct?
I'll be on there.
This is your Instagram meeting.
I'm going on Instagram tomorrow morning. I'm going to make my breakfast on there. So stay tuned.
Start it, dude. Let's do this. Let's do a breakfast cutoff with our Corona cuts. We're going to kill this.
Boom.
Keep it positive, brother. Tell Shelby I said
Cheers,
hi.
Guys. Word.
Sorry it took so long.
Oh, you're fine, man.
We are going to get a special guest on here at the end. So make sure whoever's in here is still watching, even though we've been going for an hour and 53 minutes. We may break my Black Friday show. So, keep it up, bro. Trust me. Do your Instagram stories. Keep doing the crazy shit you do. Because it's helping everybody, bro. It's not just you. Even though you don't feel like it, just push through it. In 2 weeks, you're going to call and you're going to be like, dude, thank you. You were so right. We need you, Mike.
We need the real Mike.
So get back to drinking your beers.
Stay safe out there, man. Have fun with the family at home,
Heck yeah. Bro. We'll see you later, Manny. We'll see you later, Ryan.
Bye-bye. That dude he's funny, dude. And what's crazy is the first time I had him on the show, when I first started this whole thing, he's like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm like, what do you mean? And he's like, man, I'm super shy, kind of socially awkward. I was like, what? You're on Instagram every day, 5 times a day. How can you be socially awkward? Because I'm talking to the phone. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. So it's like you said, just him being unique, him being himself.
Yeah, dude. Don't stop anything you're doing right now.
Yeah.
So we got another guy.
He's awesome.
And this dude, he's made a little relocation, and he's a super nice. He came up to me a couple years ago at MT. He was like, yo, what's up, man? How you doing? He introduced himself right away. And Mr. Joey, Mr. PDR, what's up, bro?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, brother?
And I said this to Joey earlier. I said, I'm going to get you on a show. I don't give a shit if you're in Germany doing hail, wherever the hell you are. We're going to do a full show on Mr. PDR.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of got a unique story, and you kind of got, you know, you picked your whole life up and moved.
Yeah, sure did, man. Thanks for having me on the show, fellas.
You know, so you're still doing hail, as I understand.
Yep.
You know, how's that going?
Well, it's you know, right now it's as I've been here in the past hour and 55 minutes.
Oh my God, it's crazy. I'm sorry for making all you guys wait. It's been,
I mean, what else are we gonna do? You know, it's no one has to wake up super early tomorrow, you know, so we're just kicking it. You know, I was laughing with Mike. I was private chatting him. I was like, man, he's probably on his 10th can. You know, but yeah, Mike, go back to Instagram. You know, watching your stories has all of us entertained, and we get a kick out of it. So get back on IG tomorrow. But yeah, you know, I just got off a gig in Mississippi. We were there for 12 days. It was the Nissan plant.
And your stuff's good too, though, because you were doing like blending is key, or like your little snippets of stuff that you put up there. Yeah, dude. I mean, come on.
That was good.
To blend, but yeah, here and there I try to do my best on social media, try to, you know, any little thing I learned, you know, I try to go and post it right up and share with other PDR community. But yeah, hail's still happening. I got a friend in south of Mississippi. He got over 150 grand in his retail shop right now. You know, adjusters are still riding cars. I got another friend in Oklahoma who's just picking up and going. You know, I think it just depends on city and state right now with restrictions. You know, I know Texas shut their state entry through Louisiana, land and air. The governor, I think his name is Abbott, mentioned closed off to 7 cities to fly in, and then Louisiana being one to drive in. So, you know, it is shaky times. You know, I heard someone earlier say that, you know, actually Mike was saying it for the hail chasers, PDR hail techs, that I have to go out there because, you know, that's their only way of eating. You know, it's difficult. It's a difficult choice to make, you know, but
I understand the hotels are limited also.
Yeah. I have a buddy that told me that 60% is only allowed to get occupied, you know, so they can't do more than that. And, but everything's closed. So normally after a long day of a grind, you know, you want to go in a restaurant, relax a little bit, you got to go through drive-through. You know, and grub there. But yeah, it is a different caliber right now of what's coming in and what exactly is taking place in our industry on the hail side of things.
Yeah, it's go ahead, Manny.
No, I was going to say, how do you think that, you know, after this, how's the hail industry going to be? Do you think that, do you see changes coming along after this, or do you think things are just going to go back to normal? Do you think it's going to be more tight, or?
Well, I have a few different views of how I'm picturing it right now. You know, this past Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, it hailed a pretty good amount across the country. You know, far west as Oklahoma to East PA.
Yeah, PA.
You know, there are different pockets. There are severe pockets, as we all know. Jefferson City, probably the epicenter, kind of like New York with the corona right now for hail. But then there's also small pockets. I mean, I took 2 days to go drive around Oklahoma and recon what was out there. And but you know, I spoke to another friend that's been in the industry for 30 years, and he goes, "Listen, you know, we've never seen something like this before, but I assure you that there are going to be cars to fix. It's just when, and it may be a slow roll, you know, as you think about dealerships who cut down on sales. You know, I spoke to a dealership a few days ago that I walked in, and he said, you know, we let go 60% of our staff. You know, how quick are they going to be fixing cars? You know, how quick customers are going to be drawn into the retail shops. It may be a slow roll. I don't know. That's kind of the thought that I have behind all of it. Body shops, you know, cut, you know, some of their staff, half of their staff, quarter of staff, whatever it is. So it may be a slow roll, but I think at the end of it, there are going to be cars to fix. It's just a matter of how
timing,
soon, how long. Yeah.
And let me give you a little credit. And a lot of guys don't know who you are, and that's why I said I wanted to get you on the show. This dude was kind of hanging out in Maryland. Was it last year before last? And called just to see because they were calling for hail, and we talked for a little while because he was local. And he hooked up a job in Pennsylvania fixing some soup bowl dents for like a year. He was fixing some nasty shit for a year straight.
I was actually in New York.
Was it New York?
Yeah, it was New York.
Oh my gosh, man, that stuff is gnarly stuff. So this dude can definitely fix a dent. There's no doubt about it. Because some of the shit you were sending me, I was like,
nope. Yeah. Well, when you're chasing hail, man, in a perfect world, it's great to pick and choose your work, but sometimes, you gotta bite the bullet and say, all right, this is scary work, but that's how you get better, Yeah. My first storm ever back in 2011 in our backyard with my best friends, we never did hail. We never experienced what hail was. We saw all these technicians and companies and trailers flocking into New York, and we were like, what the hell? Mm-hmm. And it was, it was big, oversized, stretch stuff where, LED lights weren't at that time. Glue pulling was still relatively new. People were drilling holes in rails. This is how they were taking out tents, But, we learned with the, the severity of damage, and that was our introduction. So, when you tamper with the heavy and the severe, you just get good as you keep dabbing at it. And whenever you get the light stuff, that's just the icing on the cake.
Get money.
There you go.
And your boy's in here, Jesse. He's another dude that is just a full-rounded great guy,
Yeah, Dave's my boy. He actually introduced me into this industry. So if it wasn't for him, I think I'll probably be a diesel technician today or who knows what. But he jumped into PDR first, and he came up one day and he was like, I'm making $1,000 cash a week. I was like, what? And that was the end of it. After that, there was no turning back. But yeah, shout out to Jesse. He's a good dude. He's my boy. He's 15 minutes away from where I live right now. So he moved out here first. For those that don't know, I'm born and raised in New York, 37 years, and now I'm out here in Frisco, Texas, 6 months. Actually, 7 months now, April.
Texas boy, y'all.
Yes, sir.
Out there with those. How's the adjustment for that? I don't want to get too deep into your story because I think your story will be really good if we do a one-on-one. But how is the adjustment?
The adjustment, man. I've been coming to Texas pretty much almost every season. I visit every major city here. So it was almost second home to me. Trying to get my wife to come out here was the biggest challenge because it was literally relocating, and Joey can buy guns now. That's right. Man. Having my wife relocate, my 3 children, my oldest is going to be 15 in June. My youngest turning 6 in April. It's a big call, man, but I knew what Texas had to offer. I felt good about the decision. We handpicked the area we wanted to be in. It just made sense, and I'm actually super glad now that, especially with what's happening back at home, I was able to, be out here and just in time from what we're all witnessing that's taking place in New York. So.
But Texas money isn't New York money, that's for sure. It's much cheaper.
Yes, the overhead out here is cheaper for me being a New Yorker.
Yeah,
there's a lot of money out here. There's some big money out here. I'm actually pretty taken back just coming from the Big Apple because there's a lot of money out there. But Dallas is surprising me. A lot of money out here. The economy out here is thriving. There's so much happening all around me. It's just ridiculous how fast they're building, and opportunities just free fall right now here in Frisco.
Yeah. Well, look, bro, keep your head up, keep grinding on, and be safe, man. You know what I mean? Just
be safe out there, Joe.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for hanging out, bringing up some other key people, myself. It's a good thing what everybody's doing in this industry, the little tight knit community that we have. I'm actually proud to say that I'm part of an amazing art and an amazing business, and of course a community of PDR technicians that come from all different walks of life. Man, it's awesome.
We are very lucky because I know a lot of guys in different professions that don't have this network.
Yeah.
You know? And I think, and I say this to my wife all the time, nobody understands what we do. Nobody understands why we push as hard as we push. And you know, I can talk to my buddy that's a cop. He doesn't understand.
Yeah.
Like, why? You're working 6 days a week? I'm not just working 6 days a week to make money. I enjoy what I do every day.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know?
What's the saying? If you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
Bro, I'm missing pushing a dent. Let me tell you. I'm missing it.
My tools are actually in my truck. All my collar shirts are hung up. My cooler's in there. Just got to put a new bag of ice. There's severe weather coming in tomorrow over here in Texas. So, I'm mentioning it as keep fixing some dents, but there is that thought in the backset, like, man, this virus ain't going away right now. So you almost got to pick your poison on where you want to go and, make things happen at.
Yeah, man. It's, Dave in here, he's actually my new guy that I just hired, says he spent 9 months in 2008, 2009 for hail in Austin, Texas. Hard hits and light stuff too.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It's going to be a fun ride, man. Everybody just kind of buckle up. And Joey, it's good to see you getting settled in over there. And like I said, we're going to talk. You're getting on here because your stories, it's going to be a good one.
I got time right now, so let's take advantage of it. Or even if I get busy, I'll do it in a hotel.
We'll do it. Well, be safe, brother.
All right, likewise, guys. Manny, take care, man. Congratulations on your new shop, dude.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Appreciate it.
See you, brother. Have a good day.
Man.
Good dude there.
When everything started to break down, it's just like, and hearing that New York was like, they got hit hard. I thought of Joe as just like, man, it's just like, he did just left New York. He's in Texas. It's just like, man, it's just like, that's awesome, because he has a family and everything. And it's just like, I could only imagine him being in another state and having his whole family in New York.
Yeah. Yeah. I saw him. I saw him and Jesse at the Hail Expo in St. Louis 2 years ago. And that was when he was really telling me, yeah, I'm moving. We're taking it all down there. I was like, wow, that's a huge up pick. You're taking your whole family, your kids, your wife, everything. So it's good for him. It's good that, for one, he's got Jesse, that's a really good friend and is at his side. Well, look, I want to get Mr. Keith Miracle on here, give an update on how he's doing from, the COVID virus. Talked to him the other day. He seemed like he was doing better. So let's get him on here. I know some of you guys had a lot of people reach out. A lot of people want to know how he was doing. So let's get him on here.
Hello.
Sorry for calling you so late. I wasn't expecting to have a show go 2 hours and 8 minutes.
No, it's good. Getting the viewers going.
I got Manny PDR in here with us. How are you?
Yo, what's up, Keith?
What's going on, Manny? How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. Praying for you, brother, that you recover and, stay in perfect health.
I am. I'm doing good, man. So today was the day where I went in and we have the new updated testing. So I got tested in 15 minutes and that I am cleared of COVID-19.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So my doctors have been just crazy. Like, they just call me every day just to check on me, make sure I'm all right. And yeah, I'm good. We're still hanging in there. Our companies, unfortunately it's not really unfortunate, but I mean, it's got its pros and cons. We're still going, because we have a national contract that we have to uphold. So,
how's your health? Like, how are you feeling on the daily? I remember talking the other day. You're like, yeah, I do think this is probably that 20-day recovery.
Yeah.
How are you feeling on the daily?
I'm on day 16, and I feel great. Today I was actually, as soon as I actually got cleared. I wanted to get fresh air. I haven't had fresh air in like, the 15, 16 days. So I just basically decided to go out and do a little bit of fishing. So loaded up my fishing poles and kept my distance, went to a place where I know nobody goes, and went fishing.
Yeah, I saw you on Instagram. I was like, this dude.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Yeah. So, well, I mean, after having something that scary happen to you, I feel like it'll make you appreciate life a little more.
Yeah.
So, and anybody who knows me, that I'm always working. So I decided to take a little bit more time off, just because, I just need a little bit more time, I feel like, before I actually try to go back in. And, I got my letters cleared, so because everybody's obviously, a little bit worried and freaked out. And, if I show up to a job site, they're going to be like, you're supposed to be here. So, I got my paperwork, I got my letter. Like I said, all of our guys are still boogieing. We're hanging in there. Yeah. My health though is, bounced back tremendously. And I'm very grateful for that. I'm blessed for that. Everybody who's reached out to me, everybody, literally. You, Steve Dent Mechanics, he's reached out to me, just, check on me daily. Even Ray that you had on earlier, he basically, was like, hey man, I heard you're sick and wanted to reach out to me, which was great. Yeah, a lot of people. Mo reached out to me. Her dad also reached out to me and was like, hey, if you guys get behind, let me know. And it's been great. It's been really bittersweet,
Keith, I didn't reach out to you personally, bro, but I promise you I was praying on the back end for you, man. 100%.
No, it's cool, man. I get it, man. The daily grind happens. You got to prepare for the worst and hope for the best. I'm totally good with it, man. I've had some great support.
Hey, Keith, I always say that, like, situations in life, there's always something that we learned. Is there something that stands out to you that I've, going through this situation that?
Don't travel when they say don't travel.
Yeah. Something that I've learned, I'm always been a big firm believer in live life to the fullest. I think I'm going to take that a little bit more of an extreme. Maybe dial back as much as I'm, work as I can, and just kind of do a little bit more me time, because this has really kind of made me realize you're not promised tomorrow. And, if you're still in good health, definitely try to take advantage of that as much as possible, whether it be with your family, close friends, whatever it may be. Definitely opened my eyes to a lot of things. I had another trip planned directly behind me leaving Puerto Rico, and that had to shut down because, I got sick, but two, I got my grandparents and whatnot who are all located on the West Coast. So I was going to go visit them, and then everybody was like, I think it's probably best you stay home. And sure enough, I'm very grateful that, everybody helped me make that decision and say, hey, you know what, there'll always be, hopefully another time that I can go and visit them. So, but that's really kind of how I've, played this whole thing into my life. Definitely opened my eyes that, you can go from doing great, being on top one day, and down in the dirt the next day. So
yeah,
definitely take advantage of every positive thing that you can do, whether it be family, outdoors, whatever you can do.
Yeah.
So,
well, I'm glad you're doing better. I've been checking on with you and your pops.
Yeah.
Just trying.
Yeah. The old man is, he's hanging in there. I just keep telling him, I'm like, look, please, he's kind of been my rock through this whole thing. and all the support. Like I said, I got people who I've never even met before reaching out to me, and they're just like, "Hey, man, if you need anything, let me know, and I'll be there for you." And I'm like, "Look, hey, I'm pretty good right now, between everybody, all my friends here and stuff. They're able to, drop stuff off at the door. Uber Eats has kind of been one of my bigger things that I've been using, just so I can, stay indoors and then still be able to maintain.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, things are good, man. I'm happy. I'm excited. I'm waiting. I'm ready for this to be over with for sure.
Of course, we all are. It's.
When do you see yourself going back to work?
What's that?
When do you see yourself going back to work? Or
so basically, and this is kind of a tricky thing for me. I ended up saying that I'm going to take the rest of this month off, because there is so much unknown that I would feel better that even though, yes, I've been tested positive, then tested negative, I would rather just feel better to stay home for the entire month. I gave the option to all the rest of the guys. We ended up having to hire a new guy, which is awesome. Excuse me. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but we ended up having to hire a new guy to help out, and he's been a great fit so far. So,
and I'm sure it's a good trying to get your body back. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's my biggest concern is like I said, anybody who knows me, I work 7 days a week, minimum 10 to 16 hour days. That's just what I do. My goal is to be, at your guys' level. I'm still, March 15th was 2 years for me as a tech. So, and I'm trying to, get there, but I know I need my health in order to get there. So,
yeah, 100%.
I definitely want to take it easy and just kind of see how things kind of play out. Like I said, we're kind of stuck between a hard place because we do have a national contract that we have to uphold. So there's guys that are scared to go to work. So, the precautions that we already took as soon as this broke out, like literally the day that I got sick and then the day that everything kind of, started slowing down, I already implemented those day one. I was already like gloves, masks. At this point now, we finally got white suits. So, goggles, all that stuff. So we're able to
about the Speedo though,
go in and spray everything down. What's that?
No, I said, how about the Speedo though? Because that was your first.
The Speedo, is that what you're saying? Yeah, man. We kind of brought this up on the last show, man. That was something that I basically thought, I'm like, oh, I've been through way worse stuff than this, through deployments and, being, in the infantry, doing just crazy stuff throughout my whole life, that I was just basically invincible. So the Speedo thing, I went from a joke to a reality real quick. And do I kind of regret it? Yeah, because I didn't feel like he put stuff out there like that into the universe.
So
definitely made me rethink some things.
You gonna join me on this Corona cut or what?
Yeah, man, I can't do the beard thing.
Hey.
It's kind of my thing, but facial hair is gonna stay. But yeah, I'm definitely I'm with the mullet. I think we could rock the mullet.
Doing this Corona cut, this may be a movement. Manny's like, I don't know if I could do this. Look at his face.
Well, see, I don't know if you know, but the old man, he and a lot of you guys know my dad, Benny. When I say the old man, Benny Miracle is my dad. So we did the challenge where he would grow a beard. So I'm definitely up for a challenge at this point where we could
All right, how about this? I'm gonna name the challenge next Thursday. We'll do it live.
Have to repeat that one more
We're gonna
time.
name the challenge on Thursday, and I'll do it live.
So, okay, you got to repeat it one more time. You're kind of
So
cutting out a little
I'm going to
bit.
name the challenge this week, and then we're going to do it live.
So what are we doing live?
The Corona cut.
So yeah, okay, but what like
I don't know. I'm going to name it this week. We'll name it publicly this week. Me and you will talk, and we'll start this whole trend.
Okay. Well, I mean, are we growing it out? Are we cutting it?
I don't know.
What do we
Let me think about it. We'll figure it out this week.
All right, I'm with it, man. Like I mean, either way, whether I grow my hair out, I mean, I used to rock a man bun back in the day.
Did he just say man bun? He just said man bun.
Yeah, I used to have one, man.
So.
Hey, I'm not the only one.
I know.
All Out Dent had one too, man.
You're right. You
know, Shane was rocking the man bun too. So
I'm glad you're doing better, bro. And crazy things right now. We're getting ready to break my limit of how long we've been streaming. 2 hours and 20 minutes and 43 seconds, which is bonkers that all these poor bastards have sat in here and watched this thing.
No, this is great.
But I appreciate you, man. You're a good dude, and we talk pretty regularly. So just
absolutely, yeah.
Get your ass better, and
oh yeah,
keep it going, man. He's gonna say something here.
No, I just wanted to say, stay up, man, and be safe out there, and yeah, man, just take care of. And
absolutely, yeah. Hey, keep rocking that Instagram put on the stories, man. I watched the stories and
this is our point, man. This is what this is about. Really is.
I do have to say though, I do miss watching you go to work and playing.
Are we talking about the money phone? Manny?
No.
Was that before you knew him? You must have seen before back in the day. Keith used to rock the crap out of the money phone.
Oh yeah.
So he's gonna have to break out a new one when he gets back on the sunny side.
I got told not to do that anymore. So I don't have the money phone. I ended up selling it and then getting an iPhone. So.
Oh shit! Well, get better, brother, and we'll definitely keep in touch. Thanks for coming on.
Absolutely. Hey, thanks for having me. Much love, guys, and you guys have a great evening.
See you, bud.
Cheers, bro.
Bye-bye.
What a show, Manny. What a show.
I did wanted to say, Ryan, that I feel like this whole virus thing, it's kind of like a shakeup to our world, to us like human beings. And you know how I see it? I was thinking about this week. It's almost like, when sometimes you have to tap down and knock on that metal hard for that dent to release and for it to finally just go on to its perfect shape.
Yeah.
I think this is what this virus is for us in this world right now. It's that hard knocking that sometimes we have to do to this metals, to this dent, so it could release pressure and go into that beautiful shape.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, it's scary thing out there. This is real life stuff.
Same thing. It's almost like scary when a client watches you hammer.
Yeah, it is. It's exactly, that's a great great thought of what it is.
It's scary when they watch you like, whoa, aren't you supposed to push it? Why are you tapping down with a hammer? They're scared, like, whoa, what is he gonna do?
Exactly.
They're even freaking out to see what it's gonna look like when you're done. And to us, it's just like that's what needs to be done. So I think that this is like this virus, a situation that we're all going through. It's just that it's a shakeup for us to be better. You know what I mean?
I feel and not so much as in business, I think as a personal thing, it's a reset.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of guys are out here and they're like, man, grinding, making money. And I'm one of these guys. I can sit back and say, I'm one of these guys. I work my butt off. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't always do it every day for the money.
Yeah.
I do it on a business end because I want to grow. And there's goals that I put out.
Yeah.
But now I sit back and I'm like, man, how great was it? Before this show, I'm sitting on the couch and my kid's like curled up next to me watching TV. She would never do that before. How great is that?
Yeah. And same thing, like I have my daughter likes to run and she likes me for me to run after her and it's just like, get me, you can't get me. And sometimes, when I'm at work, when I'm at my work week at night, I'm just like, I'm tired. I got to go to work tomorrow. We can't do that. Now it's like 8 o'clock at night. She wants me to go after. It's just like, all right,
Yeah.
I'm after you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a reset, bro. It's not an end for any of these guys. Mike from Heavenly Hill, I'm glad he brought that up because I noticed it.
Yeah.
And
if you think about it, Ryan, like this world has had this situations in its lifetime.
Yes.
And if you look back in history and the Bible and all that stuff, every time it happened, it was a change for something new.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's, heads up, tails down is what I look at it. You know what I mean? And just grind it out. We've got me and you talk today for 30 minutes and just talking about stuff and, opening up and, I say it all the time. We're very lucky we have this network of people that we can reach out, that we understand each other. It's kind of all the time. You look at an artist and you're like, man, I just don't get that guy. He's wearing flip-flops and tank tops. I mean, I'm not talking about you, Steve Brown. Just a little different. And that's all of us dent guys. A lot of these guys, a lot of people don't understand what we do. And when you can get with somebody and have a conversation, or 15 people and have a conversation, they understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
I was saying earlier, like it's real talks, it's real situations, it's one way or another, we're all dealing with that same way, Yeah. And it's real stories and it's real situations and it's real problems.
And women. I'm sorry, Melissa. There are some women in here that they are in here. I am so sorry. But it's just keep your head up and grind on. Like I keep saying, it's an open network here. And the reason I do this show is stuff like this. This show for me is been really good, mentally and being able to do this and having as many people in here watching this thing or interacting. This interacting end of it is awesome. Guys that are interacting, women are interacting with each other and commenting, and that's what this is about. You know what I mean? It's almost 12 o'clock at night here, and I'm still sitting here doing this show. Had to pee for like the last hour and a half. So, but it's good. It's a great industry we have, and we're all going to make it through this. It's all in how you handle it and adapt to new things. Don't be scared of something new. Because it's going to be a new world when we go out there. People are going to be wearing masks. People are going to be wearing rubber gloves.
And even as easy as like, if you cough, wash your hands. People didn't used to do that.
No. I mean, you see guys leave out of the bathroom and they never wash their hands. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a reset.
Yeah.
That's all it is. I appreciate you coming on, brother. We've been on here before. You were on for your birthday last time. So,
Yeah, no, for having me on and thank you, brother, because, you allowed us to have this platform where we could, all come together just and be real. I know you call the show just, being real and stuff, but, you allow this platform to, for us and for all of us to be real. And, I thank you, man. Thank you for having me on. But, reality, thanks for doing this show. It's you didn't have to do this. You don't have to do this. And I know you do it for fun, and I know you do it because you enjoy it, because you like bringing this all together. And someone has to thank you for that, man. And thank you, brother.
I appreciate it, bro. It's been fun, dude. There's next episode is my 50th episode, and I was going to do this massive giveaway. I've got a bunch of companies that wanted to be involved, and we're going to delay that just because obviously shipping. Reed Anderson's package was the giveaway, last giveaway I had, and I haven't been able to ship it because everything's closed. So we're going to hang off on that, but we're still going to throw a hell of a Corona cut party next week. So,
Are you really gonna cut your hair? Like,
hey, bro, look at this thing. I mean, this is bad, dude. I mean, that's really bad. When your hat starts getting tight, when you're large, extra large, I know I got a big ass head, but when your large, extra large hat starts getting tight, we got major problems.
I got to tell you, one of the biggest problems it's with me being at home, man. It's eating.
Oh, it's terrible, dude.
I've been eating I've been going through all my girls' snacks. And it's just like, man, I want to say, like, out of this, that's probably the toughest thing, man.
Yes. And my wife says this all the time. We're all grieving in one way or the other through this situation. We're all grieving, all trying to figure out how to handle it. And we pick up this damn thing every single day. And all we see is terrible things.
Yeah.
We see terrible things, terrible interviews, just a world of terribleness right now. And you just try to be positive.
That's it.
So everybody watching, keep your head up. Keep it real. And if you guys need something, please reach out to one of us. We're here. Get on, get on Mike from Heavenly Hails Instagram and watch him turn it back up tomorrow. Don't stop what you're doing. Just keep doing it. It's all going to come back around and we're going to figure this out. It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. So keep it real, guys. And thank you, Manny, again. And we're going to make it through it. And I will see you guys next week on the Corona Cuts. Let's keep it real. See you guys.